Night number 3 of the CluckClash with Mr. Slide Job on the pole, about to get running in the third race here, and certainly not a 2.5 mile oval. That's last night's information at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We'll get that all taken care of. Slide Job leading in the 88 car. Zachary 7007 nearly winning the race last night and winning the first race of this 3-night special, coming into tonight with the points lead. Optic Goblin, Yotes King, Baritone Boss, and Ace Petty making up this field. Maverick Moose, as they come to a halt in that third, and Night Sniper jumping the fire, 88 in that 53 car. K-Hawk in that looks like the 3, that is the Custom 3 Gatorade, T2 Infiltrator, and Vlad Poultry rounding out the field, and we are ready to go in the third and final evening of the CluckClash. Field a little held up at the moment. We'll see what moves this field would makes them all take here. All just currently stopped. Terry, this is peculiar. I don't know if you've ever seen anything like this before. Fans at home, I haven't introduced myself, and I apologize. I'm Rick James, bringing you uninterrupted green flag coverage of this final night of the CluckClash. My partner in crime, Terry Radford, joining me for the remainder of the action. Terry, I've never seen anything like this. Any word on why the field is halted in turn 3?
No idea, Rick, but I tell you what, this is going to be exciting. 600 miles, 400 laps around, yeah, I think it is 400 laps around this amazing 1.5 mile. I think they stopped and they started right there. That was their green flag. Green flag should be out right here.
Green flag is out on the racetrack, and they're going, stopping at the line, and interesting way to get this one going. Mr. Slide Job 1996 in the 88 car, starting with the 21 of Zachary 7007 behind him. Mama Vols in the chat, glad to have you here, ma'am. Thank you once again for joining us for this third night of racing, and the rest of you fans as well. Thank you for joining us for the third night of racing. Optic Goblin not able to go in that 55 car. Not sure what happened, but Yotes King in the custom 24. All cars custom tonight. Yotes King in the custom number 24 Chevrolet, sitting in the 4th position. Ace Petty in the 43 car. Back through that field, had a successful Indianapolis yesterday. Maverick Moose in that 9 car in 3rd. Terry, what a race Maverick gave us in that 9 car. Unbelievable.
Yeah, what an incredible race he gave us indeed. And tonight, coming in here to this one, every single one of these men are coming in here. It's such an endurance race. We thought that the Monaco race was an endurance. We thought that Indy was an endurance race, but tonight is the most grueling they're going to have. Maverick Moose is one of the guys to look out for. He's going to be chasing Slide Job and them down a lot tonight, but he's doing a great job early in the race.
Fans, get comfortable. You heard him. We're here for 600 miles, roughly 2.5 times the distance of Monaco, and 100 more miles from last night to put the cap on this wonderful weekend of racing. Jump in the Fire 88 was one of those drivers that gave us a sensational show, not only at Monaco, but at Indy last night, leading the race, and then some contact with, I believe, Baritone Boss took him nearly out of commission, as did Yotes King. Did a fantastic job last night, as did Zachary 7007. He's fighting for the lead early on in the 21 Club Car Ford.
Yeah, looking at what Slide Job's been able to do right here, he's been able to take control of this race so far. But Zachary is the guy that we've seen. He's been the guy who's been leading most of these races. He led and won, dominated Monaco, and now he comes into NASCAR. Can he bring the momentum from the first 2 nights, or is Slide Job going to be in his home, his playground here at Charlotte?
Zachary 7007 coming into this race with a fantastic 2 races ahead, but only leading by 2 points in this CluckClash. 2 points is the distance that first and second have, not only in the current point standings, but as they collect points every single race. We'll get into that later on. 14 cars starting this 600 miler. There's Zachary now with his opportunity to the inside of Slide Job, Terry.
Yeah, here it goes. He looked and then he decided to think otherwise. He goes down there as they come into turn number one. Slide job's going to keep that lead, but not by very much. The bumper and the rearview mirror, as finally they have bumpers, Rick. Unlike last night, but now they have bumpers, and Zachary is sitting there. He is riding right behind him. He's going to let off sooner to let him roll through the center of the corner. Now he's going to get a run coming off of turn number four.
You saw Slide Job bouncing off that blue line. That's going to be a problem for a lot of drivers tonight. This time by 88-21, 1 and 2 drivers will have roughly about, I would say, 28 to 30 laps of range here. 100 laps in each stage, 91 laps remaining in stage number one. Good start for these leaders. They're getting away from the competition.
Yeah, I'm sitting back here watching what Optic Goblin's been doing. He's been riding side by side with the 14. Very identical paint scheme, so it was kind of hard to differentiate which one was the 55, which one was the 14. But they've been riding side by side here, and we talked about how tight the points were. Even with two great races for Zachary, I mean, he still has not been able to separate himself. As now, Rick, there is a battle for third as Yotzking has gone to the back bumper of the, I believe that is the 9. Yes, they are sitting there fighting side by side for the P3 position.
The lone Canadian Maverick Moose driving that number 9 Napa Know-How Chevrolet with 90 laps remaining in this first stage. Yotzking in the 24, not the most successful Monaco or Indianapolis, but he is sitting in the top 5 now, and this is the bread and butter for many of these drivers, Terry. Most, if not all of these guys are familiar with the NASCAR background and the NASCAR stock cars.
Yeah, stock car racing is where most of us found our home and where we found what we were going to do. The niche of racing came from racing in NASCAR heat or on iRacing. But for these gentlemen, they were outside their comfort zone on Friday and Saturday nights. And tonight in the Queen City, they find themselves back here. But, I mean, Rick, 600 miles is facing them, a daunting task. Is it too soon to push the car? Or is it just the right time to show the competition, I am the guy you're going to have to drive through tonight?
Absolutely, Terry. By all means, this is an endurance race. By most global racing standards, NASCAR is an endurance sport. Let me pause right now. Rock NASCAR 388 says hello to the booth and good luck to all the drivers tonight. Rocky, my hero, one of my best friends and best viewers on this stream. Thank you, buddy. Glad to have you here. You and Mama Vols always coming in. But back to NASCAR, it is an endurance event, Terry. These 3-hour races for these drivers, any way you want to split it, compared to, let's say, a 2-hour hockey game or a 2-hour IndyCar race, not even 2 hours, because the regulations say, I believe, a Formula One race the racing can't last more than 90 minutes, and they have, 4 hours to complete it. It's finite regulations, where in NASCAR, 500 miles, 600 miles is regular for these drivers. But tonight is going to be the most physically demanding of most of the driving they'll do all year.
Yeah, we talked about the demanding side of it, but then you also look at the opportunities that are going to come up right for these guys. They could potentially have about 10 to 12 pit stops to make a change on their cars. If Yodes or the 9 or a Goblin or Zachary, one of these gentlemen could have an issue to start the race, and then a timely caution could change it. A timely caution could come out, and they would be able to come out and make a change. A tire pressure, wedge, tape, whatever they can do to make their car better. They have ample enough time to do it with the least amount of time to go a lap down here.
Bus driver in the number 5 car, almost akin to the Kyle Larson livery that you'll see on many of that Hendrick.com, HendrickCars.com. And I say Kyle Larson currently driving the car, but a lot of fans should know the story of Ricky Hendrick, one of the young Hendrick family members that was driving this car early on in his career, and just the wonderful impact that Ricky Hendrick had on Hendrick Motorsports, and the story that carries with that great racing team. Great to see that paint scheme out here tonight. K-Hawk, one of the drivers that really could do with a little bit of redemption. The championship looks out of sight for K-Hawk, but K-Hawk is a driver who trains with Ace Petty very, very much, and they also in turn trained with Slide Job. And there's the curse of the commentator as K-Hawk just slams the wall. But here's a driver who could really do with a good run tonight.
He absolutely could come with a. K-Luck was fast in everything we did the past 2 nights, but just luck was not on his side. And tonight it looks as if we're bringing a bit of bad luck to people. I mean, we got a long way to go, Rick. Hopefully we have a lap count out here somewhere to kind of keep us in our time frame of where we're going to be, as we're only 14 minutes into what could potentially be the longest stream that either one of us have ever done.
You know, I never even thought about that coming into tonight. I didn't think that, my gosh, this is going to be one of the longest shows, if not the longest stream I've ever done. And we had a glitch with the first race where it's on the Rick James YouTube channel, just not the Twitch channel. Apparently, according to Twitch, I was looking through the stream summary, Terry, and it says that Monaco stream was, I believe, 43 hours long or something ridiculous like that.
Well, okay, this might be the second longest stream you've ever done. But for me personally, I have never broke the barrier of getting past an hour or 2 hours. I've never pushed past that. And, you know, I finally don't have to I can use my hands when I talk, and I can be more exciting. I don't have to hold a microphone because I got a new headset in. And I still just sound like I'm in a tin can, but this room's kind of bare. Not as bare as, you know, some of the grandstands were last year, but, you know, I get to be exciting with my hands again.
It's good to enjoy racing at every level, and I'll put that link in the chat one more time. Fans, if you want to actually see CluckClash Commissioner Cam, here's an onboard cam with Ace Petty 43. Let's go back to that 43 car. Scrolling through this field. There he is. There you can see the live stream from Ace Petty 43. I believe he's currently running in the 11th position right now as the laps continue on. 78 laps to go in this first stage of racing. Ellie1102 says, headset sounds nice. It does. You do sound lovely indeed. Down this back straight, 11 laps is what remains for most of these drivers fuel-wise. We have had a change for the lead, Terry. It was Mr. Slidejob 1996, and now look at this contact here that looked like Maverick Moose that's involved, and I believe that might be Optic Goblin in the 16. Let's go back and check. No, that's Night Sniper in the 16 car, and I believe Night Sniper might be going the lap down here. I'm not entirely sure, but the 21, I believe, is now, and you know, to be honest, no idea who's leading this race, to be honest, because all the cars are custom, so the graphic doesn't show. But there's Zachary 7007 exiting turn 2. I believe Zachary is leading this race right now.
Yeah, I think we're both right. I mean, we've been spoiled, Rick. I mean, to basically quote the great Paul Heyman, we have been spoiled beyond compare with the amazing stuff that we've had over the past 2 nights. So we had great stuff at Monaco, we had great stuff at Indy telling us where stuff is, and then we come here for the longest race of the season, and we think that Zachary has the lead. I hope we don't call the wrong car tonight, but Zachary has been the fastest guy in all 3 games that we have ran, so it would not surprise me the least bit to see that Ford Mustang up front. He is one of the fastest guys I have ever seen. I mean, he can race anything. We could probably put him in a cracker box and he would go win.
27 laps complete so far. 26 laps, excuse me. 26 laps complete, 27 laps underway of the 100 in stage number 1. Just past 7 1/4 on the East Coast, 74 laps to go in this opening stage. Zachary unbelievably good in these opening laps. I believe he took a dominant win at Monaco Friday night. Last night at Indianapolis, the thrill ride of the century, watching Zach duel it out with Baritone Boss for laps on end, only for both of them to come together in turn number 3. And this driver here, the number 55 Miller Ford of Optic Goblin, coming away with the win at Indianapolis. There's Yotes King in the 24. I believe he's running in second place right now. There's the 21 up ahead, and that looks to be the 16 car of Night Sniper, currently closing up in the third position. 3 Chevrolets sitting on the podium with 29 laps now underway in stage number 1.
Yeah, we go back to what we were talking about with Hawk and Goblin winning last night. What an incredible race. About had us throwing stuff around. I spit part of my dip out, had drink all over the table. I got so excited at the fact that the race ended the way that it did. He was able to come away with arguably the steal of the century, if not the steal of the millennium. He was able to pull a win out just by being patient. You know, he could go give a seminar right now of how he just rode around at Indianapolis and just stayed there, bided his own time, waited for them to take themselves out, and then he just cruised on to victory lane like nothing had happened.
Baritone Boss in the 14 car involved in that late race action. You know, I personally still haven't taken time to review that video, but it's just so curious the way that they come down in turn number 3. Baritone Boss blocking the lead with I think it was fewer than 10 laps to go, and Zach going around with him when they both made contact, and it looks like green flag pit stops have already started. Indeed, here comes the 9 of Maverick Moose, the 16 of Night Sniper, the 66 also coming down, the 28 of Infiltrator. There's Vlad Poultry in the 66, the 3 of K-Hawk. Blitz in the 70 coming down. Mr. Slide Job staying out. And it looks like, I saw him backing off earlier, Terry. Slide Job and the 43 of Ace Petty. They're coming around now, and it looks like they might inherit the lead here. But this could be Fuel strategy to just cut this race into, and cut this stage into one stop fewer. 69 to go in stage 1.
Yeah, if they could break this up into increments of 30, that would be huge, because that also does cut one out. They come in every 25 laps, then they're kind of just in the monotony of going to pit. The least amount of pit stops, the better. Some of these guys have been able to stay out on the racetrack. Some of them could potentially go into fuel saving mode. And I mean, if they can just do what Kyle Busch did, just coast around a little bit, they'll be just fine. I think that this is going to play out, and as we progress through the entire race, we're going to see who had a lead foot and who really could just quarter throttle it down the back straightaway into the corners.
Fans at home, just a heads up, at the end of stage number 1, we'll be taking just a short 30-second break, keeping the pre-rolls off for 10 minutes. So we'll go ad-free for 10 minutes after that. No cautions tonight, so we may not have many opportunities to take a 60-second break and have those 21 ad-free minutes. But we will do the best we can to bring you ad-free as much as Twitch allows us. That way you can refresh the page, send the link out as much as you want. No pesky 15 or 30-second ads. Mr. Slide Job, 1996, sitting in the lead right now. He's got the 21 car right behind him. That is Zachary, 7007. As Slide Job now comes down pit road, Zachary getting his lap back. Ace Petty in the 43 car now goes around Mr. Slide Job, and he inherits the lead. New leader at Charlotte, Ace Petty.
We saw Ace Petty the past 2 nights. He kind of just sit there and didn't really make a lot of noise, but when it counted and when it mattered the most, he showed up to the party. The 43, a historic number here at Charlotte, in the Queen City, in the world. 43 is synonymous with Richard Petty, and the fact that he's sitting there, he's leading this race. Now he's coming down pit road, but he could do something that, you know, hasn't happened in a while. Put the 43 back in victory lane, and he could do it at one of arguably the biggest races in NASCAR history.
There's Zach, 7007, trying to take the lead now as Ace Petty comes down pit road. He'll get 30 laps of fuel in that number 43. Hot rod drivers will be able to go roughly 28 to 32 laps if they conserve on that fuel tanker, depending on how hard they drive it. Petty gives up the lead, and Zachary becomes the new leader once again. But Ace, you called it. Terry, you called it. Ace Petty here going more than 30 laps on one tank of fuel with the tires. If he can do that a few times, he should theoretically run out of fuel right around when the stage ends. So he could pick up a good position for the second stage, working that fuel mileage.
Yeah, if he only pits 30, 60, and 90 every 30 laps, he comes down pit road. He could potentially not stop at the end of stage number one, go into stage number two, run 20 more laps, and then cut it by more. He's going to cut theoretically one pit stop out, minus what these guys are doing of increments of 25. So hopefully he can pull off and he can do what he has to do. But Ace Petty's playing it smart right now, thinking of the end of the race. He's not thinking about stage number one.
The only issue I find with this strategy is that Ace Petty's now on the exit of turn number 2. By the end of the straight, the leader, Zach, can see him. That being said, Zach is on the back foot when it comes to fuel strategy. So if Zach tries to chase down Ace Petty and trap him, then Zach in turn burns more fuel and falls into Ace Petty's strategy. At the same time, Ace Petty can't be too complacent. It's a delicate balance, isn't it? 63 to go in stage number 1. And now, already, there's so much gamesmanship that's going to be the theme of this night.
Yeah, we saw the gamesmanship go on at Indy. We saw it go on at Monaco, and tonight's no different. 600 miles is more than they've ran in its entirety. 500 yesterday, but they knew when they had to pit. They knew how much fuel would go across. Well, tonight they know. But if they can stretch it by even 2 laps, then we will see who is the best. I mean, 600 miles is forever and an eternity for these drivers. So Ace Petty's playing it good. Maybe we'll see it play off at the end.
Zach still leading this race confidently. Optic Goblin in that 55 car. He's ahead of the 70 of Blitz. Optic Goblin following Bus Driver in that blue and white Valvoline number 5. There's Yotes King in the 24. He's side by side with Maverick Moose. These two confidently following the 21 Club Car Ford of Zach, leading this race. Interesting fight we've got for second place up here, Terry. Maverick Moose on the hot on the tail of Yotes King.
Go back here trying to link up with that one. Optic Goblin, he is hot on the hills of nice, but he also has he has a lot of people behind him. He has 2 more vehicles that are sitting there fighting side by side as well. I mean, it's very early in this race, but they're fighting like it's the last lap.
Yotes King in that 24 car, the 9 following him. 14 of Baritone Boss by himself, getting some space. He's on the tail end of that lead lap. Baritone and Zach, these two put on such a show last night, Terry. Man, you know, hopefully they continue to put on a good show tonight. But as far as the CluckClash is concerned, folks, if you haven't seen it, you can catch the replay on this Twitch channel right here or on YouTube. And what a show, man.
What a show. Yeah, what a show. Baritone Boss was the absolute dominant car of the entire race. Sorry, I was listening to my playback right there, trying to see if my stuff worked. It's still an echo to me, and I'm sure it's still an echo to you guys, but he was so dominant. He was 100+ laps being led the entire time, and then it turns out that he gets beat just because he tried to throw a block. But the block that didn't pay off was the block that cost him the entire show, as now he's got a battle on the outside. Here comes the 21 up to the high side here. 14 is going to stay down low. Baritone 21 all down the back straightaway.
Baritone Boss going a lap down in the 14 Credit One Bank Chevrolet. The 21 car of Zach putting him in that position. The 14 now following. There's Ace Petty 43 with 57 laps to go, currently running 11th out of 14 cars out on the racetrack. Here's Maverick Moose. Yesterday he was driving that DI9 Designs Chevrolet Indy car, and DI9 Designs bringing us this entire weekend. Let me tell you about those good folks over there that are presenting this weekend. DI9 Designs, they are actually a Chase Elliott custom graphic design page on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at DI9 Designs. They post graphics on all platforms multiple times a week, on top of taking requests on all types of logos, Chase Elliott wallpapers, and iRacing schemes. Follow and DM them for more details. They are not affiliated with Hendrick Motorsports or Chase Elliott. Maverick Moose, though, doing well in this 9 car, keeping up with the lead as best he can. I believe that's Yotes King up ahead in the 24 car, but certainly improving on what was last night at Indianapolis.
Yeah, Yotes is definitely improving on what he's doing. And NASCAR has been kind of where he got his feet under him. I mean, he's raced a lot of NASCAR. He actually tried to Babe Ruth this call. He said he was going to come out and win this race. He obviously has a great showing right now in this 24 Exalta Chevrolet. Big shout out to my broadcast partner over on iRacing. He's very much stepped up. He's come into his own role as a racer and as a broadcaster. Good to see these younger guys kind of step up and want to learn what people do. I mean, they learn from you, they learn from me, they learn from whatever, and it's just huge.
Maverick Moose confidently following the 55 of Optic Goblin. Here's Night Sniper. He's running in the top 5 right now. I believe he actually may be holding the second position. That looks to be the 21 car up ahead of Zach. Jump in the fire, trying to chase him down as well. Here's Bus Driver. He's in this pack with the 55 of Optic Goblin. He's also got the 3 of K-Hawk up ahead. The 70 of Blitz involved here as well. The 28 car of T2 Infiltrator, almost looking like a recreation of a Davey Allison ride, you might think. Kind of nice to see some of these recreations of classic paint schemes here. Vlad Poultry in the 66, who scored a top 10 at Monaco, scored a top 10 yesterday at Indy. He's just ahead of Mr. Slide Job. This is a race for position.
Yeah, 66. I mean, we talk about what the 28 had. The 28 had the one hot night Davey Allison paint scheme. Hopefully he comes out and he wins the race like Davey did, but doesn't wreck at the start-finish line. This has been an incredible thing with these paint schemes, and we've seen them 600 miles in front of them, and they're all racing like it is the final lap. Just put it all on the line here in NASCAR heat. I don't think damage is on, Rick, but they're having a good one.
Damage not on in these races, and of course, no cautions. The 70 of Blitz confidently following the 9 of Maverick Moose as another lap ticks off the board. Ace Petty 43, the next driver to go, 1 lap down. There's the 21 of Zach into turn number 3. Not sure if Zach is... Yep, Zach is indeed leading this race. There's Ace Petty 43 just ahead in the white car there. 49 laps to go in stage number 1. Drivers on the cusp of another pit stop here, about 15 laps away from seeing those green flag pit stops.
Yeah, 15 laps is a long way when you talk of pit stops here, but Zachary's been kind of pulling away. He's been doing what he's going to be doing. I mean, I've never seen somebody come from one game to the next, whether it was Formula One, whether it was going into IndyCar, coming over here to NASCAR, just all around speed, just pure talent, and that's just raw talent. We've only seen a certain amount of drivers who've done it, like Tony Stewart, AJ Foyt, and he's there.
A great Triple Crown weekend so far for the folks here at CluckClash. Seafoot Racing putting on this event, again brought to us by DI9 Designs. Optic Goblin in the 55 car here racing for position ahead of Maverick Moose, and that looks like Blitz behind them in car number 70. There's Yotes King in the 24. He's following that 21 car pretty close by most standards, and the 14 car there just recently put 1 lap down. There's Ace Petty 43. He's on the tail end of the lead lap, and the leader starting to creep into his view. Does it make you any more nervous as a driver when you know you're a bit slow, but the leader's just behind you, inching closer?
Yes, absolutely, especially here at Charlotte. I know plenty of people that watch me race the American Ethanol Championship finale here, and I got lapped about 4 times. I mean, this is definitely not one of my strong suits, is racing here. Turns 1, turns 2 just kills me. But it makes anybody nervous when they see the leader right behind them, and they do know that they're off the pace just a tad bit. They know that their car isn't as fast as what the leader's doing, and the laps that he's putting down is just phenomenal. I mean, we're clicking through this race like crazy, and I think Ace Petty's going to be okay. His strategy is his strategy, and he is on fresher tires, and Zachary's going to pit very soon.
That is true. Ace Petty staying out about 5-6 laps further than Zach, as did Slide Job. Those were the only two drivers I saw on that strategy. Now fewer than 50 laps remaining in stage number 1, actually 44 laps to be exact remaining in this opening stage. Pit stops starting in the next 6 to 7 laps here. Maverick Moose and the 55 car side by side for position, trying to catch up to the 55. And there is Optic Goblin in the 55 car, just ahead of Maverick Moose. That's Blitz in the 70 behind him. All this for third position, Terry.
Yeah, third place is heating up like crazy. First and second's kind of stepped away. Q-Dog's out in the chat talking about where Baritone boss. Baritone's sitting about 6th or 7th right now, but he's doing what he's doing. He's having a good race. 55 of Optic Goblin, last night's winner, has just settled himself into third place. He's just sitting there, he's riding along, and then you start seeing them creep up behind you. The 9 is coming in closer ever so slightly, but as the pit stop cycle comes to complete and comes around, I'm curious to see who's going to try to play the Ace Petty strategy. Is anybody going to want to step it out a couple more laps? And if they do, which I think one of these guys in this group right here that's battling for third should be the ones to do it.
You said Q-Man was in the chat. I genuinely did not know that Q had showed up. What's going on, Q? Glad to have you here, buddy. Welcome to night 3 of the CluckClash. Katarina is also here as well, cheering on the lone Canadian, Maverick Moose. Optic Goblin just ahead of that number 9 car. There's Zach, who's coming down pit road, coming down awfully slow, trying to make that pit road speed limit that is in effect tonight, Terry, as opposed to Monaco and Indianapolis, where we did not have that speed limit. So that is the great equalizer. Zach coming down for his tires and fuel. Optic Goblin now in third, past Maverick Moose in the 9. Yotes King currently leading this race in the Exalta Chevy.
Yeah, I'm not cheering, no commentator bias right here, but it's exciting to see Yotes King leading it, man. My buddy out of Arizona having a great showing. I mean, he has absolutely struggled when it came to Monaco and it came to Indy, and he had to step up tonight. This was we could go look at the points. He might not have a dog in the race unless a lot of other people have a misfortune at night. But he has a long time to do it as he's signaling. He's coming down pit road this time. And you talked about the pit road speed. The last thing you want in a 600-mile race, especially almost halfway up to the into stage number 1, is to speed on pit road. I mean, we didn't see it last night. Monaco, we saw it. They had to back it down. But tonight, they legit have to back it all the way down. 1 mile an hour is the difference of a pass-through penalty versus just being back out there on the track going at full song. So everybody needs to be mindful. And they're going to get tired eventually. It's a long race.
About 7 laps remain in Ace Petty's fuel run. There are 39 laps remaining in this race. Petty sitting in the 2nd position right now. Maverick Moose currently leading as he heads down this back straight. Look at the drivers behind him yet to pit. There's Slide Job in the 88 car. I believe he's also yet to pit. He's on the same fuel strategy as Ace Petty. There is the 88 of Mr. Slide Job currently racing with the 5 here of Bus Driver, and that Camry up ahead is the 70 of Blitz.
Yeah, Ace Petty's still sitting up here holding this lead. He's backing it down quite a bit. You're going back here talking about Bus Driver. Man, he is all over the back bumper. A Slide Job right there. It shoved him all the way into turn number 3. And it looks like, I think Slide Job, no, he ain't going to pit, man. The 5 just got a really good run off the exit of turn number 4. Scrapes that wall. 88's going to catch the toe on the front straightaway. 5's going to slip back 1 spot. But, man, I'm telling you, they are racing like it really is the last lap here.
Well, if there's a mistake that's made, there's plenty of time to make it up. Let's just hope it's not a mistake that costs you everything, because, again, the cautions are off. So you'll have to work your way up through the field yourself and then hope that you get some sort of luck either by the stage break, where you have to be the first car on the lead lap, or else. And here's T2 Infiltrator, who's about to become that first car on the lead, first car 1 lap down, excuse me. He's got the 21 right behind him as the 88 and the 43 are still leading this race. They have yet to come in. There's the 88 of Mr. Slide Job. He's got the 5 of Bus Driver right up his trumpet.
He's trying to play that thing out there on the outside of that Ricky Hendrick number 5. But I'm still curious at the way that they're playing the strategy here. Everybody's kind of doing something a little bit different. One person hits on lap 34, 30, 39 into the run. You know, everybody is doing something totally off sequence. And I had 400 laps, no caution zone. Somebody makes a mistake out here. This is a long way to make up. I mean, anything could happen in these races. We saw it last night that literally your race is not won until you cross that finish line. And tonight, with 400 laps on the board, we're about to come to the first stage break for these guys to catch their breath and kind of go, okay, I can't make a big change under the green flag. Some of these guys are going to make big swings at their cars at the first stage break.
There's Ace Petty, 43, your new leader. I just realized I was muted. I really need to knock that off. 42 laps to go, I believe it. No, less than that. 32 laps to go in this stage. Driver of the 43 car, Ace Petty, going to come down next time by. Terry, the math is starting to line up in my head. As terrible as you and I are at math, it looks like Ace Petty can go the remainder of this stage without pitting again.
Yeah, my math ain't that great, but Bama's out there in the chat. She does some pretty good math herself. You know, the strategy that he's playing is just unfathomable because nobody else can do it. Nobody else is wanting to do it. I mean, I wish I would. I'm going to go check out his in-car. I'm going to click that link that you posted out there because I want to see what his throttle is. What is he doing when he goes in the corners? Is he more going into turn 1 or turn 3? How is he kind of rolling that corner? Because he's not burning as much as anybody else is, and his tires are just as fresh as the other ones are. I mean, he's running some pretty fast lap times around this racetrack, and he's not having to burn it up to do it.
MK Gaming says he's driving, Terry. There's the link in the chat there if you want to check out the CluckClash, CluckClash Commissioner Cam Seafoot Racing putting that on there. You can sit in the driver's seat with Ace Petty and see how his race is going on. You'll see that we have about 31 laps remaining, and Ace Petty has 30 laps of fuel range in that car, so he'll have to do some conservation if he wants to get that lead and stay in it for the end of stage number 1. But it looks like Zach has the lead once again in the 21 Club Car machine. And the 88 of Slide Job looks like he's just recently gone a lap down, I believe. 30 laps remain in this stage. Zach will definitely have to pit, but now everybody else has to be on the same sort of conservation because they all have to make another pit stop. The 43 and the 88 of Ace Petty and Slide Job respectively do not.
That's just how you play it. I mean, I think they're all in the exact same chatter, but the Xbox parties are different. You know, I'm looking over here. It looks like Slide Job is not in. They're both muted. So the strategy that they're playing, that they're doing what they have to do to get up where they're at. I mean, just playing strategy in a 600-mile race is all cool, all fun and games, unless you win. You know, you have to put yourself in that position to think, where am I going to be on lap 399, 400? You know, we've seen here at Charlotte, coming off of turn number 4, Dale Jr. runs out of gas, Harvick passes him. We've seen it all over the time. That is just how the game is played. And right now they're trying to play it as strictly as possible of every 30 laps, take it down pit road, and they're playing it very smart. 30 on the dot is the number that they're going to have to come across the start-finish line. And I'm looking at his time right now, Rick, and he is in conservation mode big time in the corners.
Already more cars coming down pit road. That looks like the 14 of Optic Goblin, who's off strategy, but Goblin now pitting inside the final, or not Optic Goblin, I'm sorry. We're watching Optic Goblin. There's Yotes King in the 24. He's caught on to the game, Terry. So the 24 Exalta Chevrolet coming down pit road with fewer than 30 laps remaining, and now he's going to be good to the end, and it seems like that is the crack in the dam. Expect the pit stop floodwaters to break through this field. If I were the rest of these guys, I'd be coming down now to be on the same strategy with the other two.
Well, just looking over here at the string that Ace Petty's running as well. Estimated fuel 25 laps. Estimated, or the laps to go to end stage number 1 is 26. So he is 1 lap short, and he's changing on the back straightaway. And the reason that's a big key is in NASCAR heat, you only can sputter for about a quarter of a mile. That isn't going to get him all the way to the start-finish line. He's just going to be short of it. He's going to be out of gas. Just crossed the line 25. It's changing to 23 on the back straightaway. So the guys who just pitted you're definitely going to make it to the end of stage 1. Mr. Slide Job and Ace Petty we're going to need to back it down.
Bus driver 2020 driving that 5-car MK Gaming asking about Yotes. It's going to be hard to keep track on where these drivers are, as the game doesn't give us really any help on where the field is. With 24 laps to go, 23 next time by. We know that Zach is leading this race. Everybody except Yotes, Ace Petty, and Slide Job all must come down one more time before the end of the stage. There's Slide Job, 1996. He's now behind that 21. This will be not for position, but for Slide to get his lap back. He's on much fresher tires, but Terry, he doesn't need to push the issue because he's on superior pit strategy.
Yeah, no sense to press it. If I'm Slide Job right here, I'm just going to sit here and wait. He can kind of roll the dice a little bit. Use this draft. This might be the biggest key right here for Slide Job winning this stage if he can pull it off. Stay behind Zachary. Stay behind him and just ride. Catch a little bit of his draft on the front and back straightaways and just play with the throttle. No sense in jumping out there and being that lead car and getting all that air on your nose, which is causing him to use a lot more fuel.
Nearing 20 to go in this stage, the 88 of Slide Job. Now out behind the 21. There goes Slide Job looking to the inside as the 21 washes high. Out of turn number 4. Zach still holds on to the lead in the club car Can-Am Ford. Optic Goblin in the 55 car. He's running in the 11th position. He's got Ace Petty just ahead and the 66 of Vlad Poultry behind him. There's Yotes King in the 24 Exalta Chevrolet. He's now wrestling with bus driver for position. Here's a couple of Chevrolets nose to tail for those individual spots. Baritone Boss, who's a couple of laps down, trying to get that position back, Terry.
Yotes has fresher tires. You go back to what he was just doing right there, getting around the 5. I think that was a lap. He's still a lap down. He's trying to work his way up to get to the lead, or to the leader, to get one of his laps back as he did pit. He is off sequence as well with Ace Petty and Slide Job. He's just a tad bit further back. He can see the leader right there. There they are. They're on the exact same straightaway. So Yotes is getting his way, or Baritone Boss is getting his way up there. And right now, Yotes is trying to get his way up there to work to get one of his laps back.
Yotes King in that 24, now out of turn number 2, now gaining and extending his lead over bus driver in the 5. There was Baritone Boss we mentioned earlier. Ace Petty now running 10th after that most recent pit stop strategy there. He is 19th. There are 19 laps remaining in this stage. Ace Petty, 10th place, 1 lap down currently. Maverick Moose in the 9 car out of turn number 2, following Optic Goblin in the 55. Those two wrestling for position. Here's Night Sniper. Here's a driver that we just saw stick with the field in Indianapolis. He did a great job last night.
He did a phenomenal job. I mean, he had a very unfortunate time to go around to have an issue, but he did just that. He stepped behind the leaders. He sat back there. He didn't really get in anybody's way, and he wrestled a top 5 out of it as the leaders just kept laughing. People, he was still in their draft. He was in their tow all the way around Indianapolis. Gets a top 5, and he comes out here tonight, and he's doing exactly what he needs to do. Kind of just coast and hope that bad luck strikes Zachary.
Night Sniper driving the number 16 Gatorade Chevrolet. Here's Jump in the Fire. Here's a driver who was running mid-pack at Monaco, leading so brilliantly. Last night at Indianapolis, when disaster struck, he and the 14 car Maverick Moose getting together out of turn number 2, and that was it for Jump in the Fire. It needs to be a redemption night for the driver of this Can-Am Chevrolet.
Yeah, I mean, we talk so much about changing platforms and how it kind of differentiates between the physics of one game to the next. This game is not like any other thing that they've done over the past 2 nights. This one is basically, just do what you got to do and it'll come to you. Last night, Friday night, they had to really work it. They had to saw at the wheel. They had to really endure a lot of physical strength in it. This was a different challenge. This is just a long race. You have to be mentally focused for as long as you can to get around here. Jump in the Fire had the issue last night. Tonight he's kind of mid-packish, trying to work his way through the field as he caught the back of the 5 right here. He's not on a different pit cycle than anybody else, Rick. So it's going to be kind of curious to see where he falls at the end of stage number 1.
Jump in the Fire around the 5 of Bus Driver there. 53 car starting to pick up his timing, but there's the 5 of Bus Driver coming down pit road for the final time in this first stage. The number 70 Camry of Blitz is up ahead. Here's K Hawk, who was driving that Hitachi Chevy yesterday. This guy, so consistent, just able to stay with the leaders despite being a lap down yesterday at Indianapolis, and he's got a good chance at getting a top 5 finish tonight.
Yeah, he does have a great chance of getting a top 5. Most of these guys, we keep saying about how NASCAR was the first thing they ever did, and indeed, and it's exactly what they're doing. You're riding on board with Ace Petty right here. Ace is kind of gonna be in a pickle. He is 1 lap short on fuel if the calculations are correct.
They're probably not. We're terrible at math.
Probably.
Ace Petty coming across the line in the 6th position now. He has 12 laps remaining in this race, and there's about 12 laps of fuel in that car. It looks like Vlad Poultry slow to come down pit road. He was out of fuel on the way in, trying to stretch as far as possible. The Miller Camry of Blitz out on the racetrack with enough fuel to go the distance. Mr. Slidejob on the same strategy as the 43 of Ace Petty, trying to go the distance. K-Hawk kicking up coffee-colored clouds of smoke as he plows through the dirt, exiting pit road. 11 laps now remain. Leader is in. There's Optic Goblin, who was leading this race. He is down pit road, getting his tires, getting his fuel, and the 43 of Ace Petty sitting 3rd, about to take that second place. I believe Slidejob will inherit the lead when he passes the 55 of Optic Goblin down pit road. Let's find the 88. There's the 88. He's made a mistake, Terry. The 88 of Slidejob slams the wall on the inside there. He was going to take the lead, but he's just been overtaken by Ace Petty in the 43 car. There's the new leader, and he's got enough fuel to go the distance.
So we think, we don't know, our math skills aren't that great. He's sitting right now looking at his stream. There's 9 laps to go when they cross this line. I'm actually checking right now with him. There's 9 to go. He has 9 laps of fuel left, and he changes on the back straightaway still. So it's going to be curious as we sit here and ride with him. What is he going to have to do? He's going to have to do something different. He has Zachary on his back bumper. 1.1 seconds is going to separate the 43 and the 21 for the stage win. Can he save fuel with Zachary good on fuel behind him, pressing the issue?
He's changing into neutral into the corners, but he may not be able to keep that up for long. Zach right behind him, Night Sniper third, Yotes King fourth, and Optic Goblin in fifth. 9 seconds off of the leader, Ace Petty. Here's the pass for the lead to the inside, car 21. Zach, new leader at Charlotte in the final 9 laps. Ace Petty's strategy working out, but he could have saved just a bit more, but he is on just wrecked. Goodyear Eagles, and the 21 of Zach plows ahead with 8 laps remaining. Night Sniper now 6.5 seconds behind Ace Petty in third. Yotes King fourth. Optic Goblin in fifth. There's Night Sniper in third.
Yeah, it's good right here to see the fact that 6.3 seconds separates Ace Petty in second from third of Optic Goblin. He can kind of chill a little bit. You know you don't have the tires to go up there and get the lead, but you have just enough. If you save, you have a 6-second buffer. He can kind of just relax it, keep going in neutral for a couple more laps, see if he can stretch it. If he can't, disaster. Like what Slide Job, what happened with him? 2 nights in a row, Slide Job makes an issue. Can he rebound tonight? He's going to have 300 more laps to go when they come to the line. These strategies are crazy right now.
5 laps to go this time by the 43 of Ace Petty, still running in the second position, 2.5 seconds off the leader. There's second place. Let's go to the leader, Zach, in the 21. It looks like outright speed might beat pit strategy this time by. Night Sniper third, Yotes fourth, and Goblin fifth. Let's try. There's Optic Goblin in the 5th position. He's behind that 28 car, and he's sandwiched between the red and yellow cars this evening, the 28 and the 53. Actually looking like they're almost running similar, if not identical paint schemes. That's actually pretty cool. But the 28 car, that's Infiltrator to his outside, and then I believe in the 53 behind him. Let's catch up there. Ace Petty very slow out of 2. Hopefully he's got the gas to make it. Jump in the fire in the 53 car. Both of these cars a lap down. Interesting stage so far. We saw outright speed take on pit strategy, and it looks like pit strategy will come in a distant second place for now.
Yeah, he just changed to 3 when he came to 3 laps to go. I believe he's going to have enough fuel right now to make it. He's still in conservation mode because he has a 4-second lead right now over third place. They aren't really forcing the issue on him. Tires don't seem to be a too big of a problem for Ace Petty, but as he comes back to the line right here, it should change to 2, and the lap should be for 2. Zachary and his overall speed, he's up there. He has the lead by a lot. And yes, 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go on fuel. Ace Petty looks like he is going to be fine on the fuel strategy that he's playing tonight.
Ace Petty sitting second. There's third place behind him, Night Sniper, who's closed up that gap. Petty on destroyed tires, but with enough fuel to go the distance, and a beautiful strategy as well. He's got the shifter on his rig that allows him to shift into neutral, into the corners, thus just putting his speed right down, doesn't have to use the brakes, not using a lot of fuel to re-accelerate the car. He just shifts back into fourth. Now on this final lap of racing, it seems like we've got a bead on where these drivers will be and how they're going to conduct the rest of this race. We're going to take a quick 30-second break at the end of stage number 1. Zach going to get the stage 1 win. Ace Petty going to finish in second. Night Sniper right behind him. He's the fight for third. Petty's going to get second. Night Sniper going to finish third. But again, Zach getting that stage 1 win. Fans, don't go anywhere. Quick 30-second break, and we'll start stage number 2. Fans at home, thank you so much for being a part of Rick James TV. Terry and I are just so chuffed, pleased. Need to stop watching Top Gear. We're so pleased to bring you this uninterrupted green flag coverage. Don't mind the overlays changing there. That's my mistake. Don't adjust your set. We just need to make sure that everything lines up perfectly, and we'll get rid of everything that we don't need to have here. And there's that. Now we have the proper race facts up there. This is the third race here. The first stage complete. 400 laps of racing today, 600 miles to cap off the third night of the CluckClash Triple Crown. 28 to 32 laps is how far these drivers will be able to go on fuel. And Terry, we just saw a great test of that mileage right there.
Huge test, and Ace Petty was able to do what he was able to do, but it's interesting to see what they have been able to do so far. You know, we've seen mistakes. And on this restart, Ace Petty was not even a thought to be in first or second, but here he is on the outside of the front row with Zachary, one of the fastest cars, and we're back racing again. Stage number 2, 100 laps to go in this one.
Now, here's what's interesting about this pit strategy, Terry, because technically it's 97. Obviously, a couple of laps knock off for this stage break. So think about this. At the end of stage number 1, if you roll 3 laps off of the clock, and we'll talk about this in a minute. Look at this fight for the lead so far. Look at this scramble. These drivers know this is the best chance that they've got here. Let's take those boring race facts off as we go green. This is the best chance they have to gain position. Look at this. It looks like a plate race.
It does look like a plate race, and yes, this track position is key. If they can get out front of this hornet's nest back here that they are in, I mean, 2, 3 wide all the way down the back straightaway, without making contact, but if they get to second, they get to third, they can just ride. They can play the strategy out. Look who just jumped to second. Look who's up here in P number 2. That's Night Sniper. He's back there. He's drafted behind the lead.
There's Yotes King in the 24 Exalta Chevrolet. MK Gaming been cheering him on for quite a minute. 3 wide for 4th behind them. Blitz to the inside, slide job in the middle. Maverick Moose on the outside in the Napa Know-How Chevrolet. That fight for 5th. Zach leading this race in the 21. Night Sniper in 2nd. Ace Petty 3rd. Now here comes slide job to the inside of Yotes King for the 4th position. 88 to the inside of the 24. 95 laps to go in stage number 2. 94 laps to go in stage number 2 of 4. Now the 9 car to the inside. Yotes King is into the wall, and he's losing all of this time, Terry.
He just lost every bit of his time, plus some. He went to the tail end of the longest line, kind of a penalty that he had by going into the wall. But that was being too aggressive too soon. He got into the groove that has not been raised. There was nothing up there. There was no grip whatsoever at the top of the track, and he finds himself paying for that mistake. Slide Job finds himself in the P number 4 position, and the battle for the lead heats up as now Night Sniper, Ace Petty, 2 and 3 is closing with Slide Job coming down the back straightaway with a full head of steam.
Ford, Chevy, your top 3 headed into the 3rd corner. 21, 16, 43 of Zach, Night Sniper, and Ace Petty. Out of the 4th corner. Of these 3, Terry, who's got the best shot to take the lead and stay with it?
Oh, man, you put me on the spot right there. But if I had to pick, I'm going to say the guy that has the lead. He has just been the overall dominant car across the board. I don't see anybody really passing him without a strategy, a strategic move of chess to try to overtake him. I mean, if they can stay consistently behind him, I think Ace Petty and Slide Job with their fuel strategy could potentially come up here and play spoiler.
Night Sniper now getting a mirror full of Ream 43 Chevrolet. 93 laps to go. The 16 just in front of that 43 Night Sniper. Trying to hold on to the silver medal position. Slide Job in 4th. The Napa Chevrolet of Maverick Moose running in the 5th position. Here's Jump in the Fire. He's watching the 5 of Bus Driver and the 70 of Blitz trade paint into the 3rd corner. There's Bus Driver going way high into the 70 of Blitz, letting off to give the position, and the 53 of Jump the Fire will take advantage. He now tugs in behind Optic Goblin, last night's winner, currently running 6th.
Yeah, last night's winner kind of having a bit of an off night here tonight. Like we said, some of these guys aren't used to NASCAR. MK Gaming said in the chat, he hasn't heard of most of these guys. Yeah, me neither. But the fact that they're willing to cross platforms, they're able to cross games, and all of them are running so quick around here, this is a bit of a challenge. I mean, the Triple Crown CluckClash this year was meant to bring the best out of everybody, and it has. 3 different tracks, 3 different games, 3 different cars. It was just such a difficult task. Zachary has rose to the occasion. Ace Petty's rose to the occasion. Night Snipers right there, right up his trumpet for the lead. This has been an incredible CluckClash, and I hate to see tonight be the end of it.
Trey says, how's it going, guys? Trey, glad to have you in the chat. You've joined us in the middle of stage, well, in the very beginning of stage number 2, the 21 of Zach leading this race. Night Sniper in second, getting loose out of the second corner. Zach holding on to that lead, but Night Sniper, interestingly enough, is not giving up this fight. This could be a big use of the tires and the fuel that was the theme of stage 1, but these three, Terry, they have put all strategy on the back burner, and it looks like even the 16 and the 43 could be benefiting from the draft of the 21. 86 to go next time.
Yeah, they stay tucked right up on the back bumper of the 21 right here. Sorry, I got caught up looking at what was going on right there for the lead. The 21's just been on rails so far, but to see Night Sniper and Ace Petty, the strategy, the track position play in game that the 43 has done to put himself in the third place position. He was not running here. This was not where he was accustomed to running. He was back there in the pack by himself, just doing what he had to do. Plays one bit of strategy, and he finds himself in the top 3, running for the lead and potentially the chance to win stage number 2.
Down that back straight, here are these top 3 nose to tail, but let's go back for a second and look at the fight for 4th. These guys so much closer in this second stage than they were in stage number 1, and I think they might have figured out a bit of drafting strategy here, a better way to save fuel. The 53 of Jump in the Fire currently running in the 6th position. Optic Goblin up ahead in the 55, and the number 9 of Maverick Moose running in the 4th spot. That's Blitz in the Miller Camry, who's running 7th.
Blitz has just been sitting back here kind of logging laps. I mean, we've seen most of these guys just not really having to throw it all out there. It's too early. It's way too early to be throwing it around, making different mistakes. Whatever. Blitz is just back here kind of saving, kind of doing what he had to do. Maybe they saw what Slide Job and Ace Petty did in the first stage and said, we want to try that. We want to make a change. We want to come down. Let's try to save as much as we can. Running a conga line. Maybe we can get up here and catch the leaders, or we can just kind of like chill out. We got a long way to go here tonight. No sense in wrecking it or getting put in the back.
14 laps into this 97 lap stage. Now 14 laps complete, 15 laps now into this 97 lap second stage, of which there are 83 laps to go. There's the race facts for those of you that didn't get a chance to catch them. Drivers will be able to go about 32 laps on one tank of fuel. These 24-degree corners are going to shred the tires by the end of that fuel run, so drivers need to be diligent about the wear on those Goodyear's. Bus driver gets into the wall, Terry.
Hard into the wall. I mean, that was an absolute clobbering he put right there on it. But that allows Yotes King to get right to the back bumper and maybe take a chance to go for the pass here in turn number 1. Yotes is going to think twice of it. He's already gotten to the wall once himself. No sense in making that move, but they are coming in and closing quickly on the 4th, 5th, and 6th place drivers as they're all up here battling, all in a line.
There's Blitz running 7th right now, 4th through 7th, all nose to tail. Those 3 cars up ahead are all the leaders drafting off each other. These cars scything down the dog leg, front straight, 81 laps to go, and Trey says, go Yotes, cheering on the 24 of Yotes King. Let's go back and get a look at that Exalta Chevrolet. If I didn't already pass him. No, I didn't. There he is, right ahead of the 14 car. Where is Yotes? He's back through this field here. He looks like he's just on the fringes. He's actually running 10th. Yotes King sitting in the 10th position, one ahead of Baritone Boss in the 14. Bus driver currently running 9th.
Yeah, fun fact, man. My buddy Trey out there, all the Wolfpack guys came out cheering on their co-broadcaster and their broadcaster with me up here in the booth doing what normally is the safe route to do. I wreck too much on the racetrack, but Yotes is out here doing a great job putting on a show. He had a bit of an issue here in the early start of this stage, but he's rebounding. He has found his way back up to the 10th place position as he fell to about 12th. And now he's back up here, and he's right on the cusp of catching the top 5. He is doing I mean, Rick, have you ever heard Yotes call a race before?
Never heard Yotes call a race before, but now we have something. I have something on my bucket list. Now we gotta tick this off and put him in the booth with us one night and see what's up.
Well, he has absolutely came into his own. I mean, the one thing that I've always enjoyed about the NASCAR Heat community, especially with you, repeat Atlanta, uh, you always want to strive to be the teacher when it comes to bringing in new people. And Yotes knocked on the door. He said, Terry, is there any chance I can call a race with you? And I said, absolutely, anytime. He started calling the races on Friday nights here on NASCAR Heat, and now he has transitioned himself to the iRacing side. And you can catch Yotes anytime you want. Monday nights you can catch him, and you can catch him again Wednesday nights at 8:30 Eastern with me for the Wolf Pump Truck Series. And man, he is absolutely one of a handful of people that I would call on and go, "You are phenomenal at your job, my friend."
Zachary 7007 leading this race. Night Sniper falling just a bit behind. There you see the 43 of Ace Petty. He's about to be absorbed into this pack of 4 cars running 4th through 7th. There is the 43 kind of in no man's land as we're inside the final 80 laps of stage number 2. Optic Goblin pushing along the number 9 DI9 design. Well, technically the Napa Know-How Chevrolet, not the DI9 Designs Chevrolet, but an homage to Chase Elliott. We'll talk more about DI9 Designs later in this second stage. Yotes King has moved up a bit. Now he's running in the 9th position. He's gone up 2 spots. He's got Bus Driver and the 14 of Baritone Boss right behind him. There's Ace Petty 43 sitting in 3rd. Now, he was up there in the top 3. He's got roughly about less than 9 laps to go in on his fuel run here. Is it conservation again for that 43? Because it doesn't look like he's shifting into neutral in the corners this time around.
I feel like he's having to right here. I think he just lost the draft. He lost the nose a little bit when they came into the corner about 5 laps ago. And the biggest key that people don't understand about NASCAR Heat is the dirty air in the draft plays the biggest factors. And he was drafting right behind Night Sniper. And right when he gets into the corner, kind of washed up the track a little bit. And now he's just sitting there. He's not going as full throttle as he could be, but they're starting to catch him. Oh, I mean, it looks like guy in the wall.
1 car into the wall there as the 16 of Night Sniper almost gets into the wall. Let's see if we can find who that exactly is. Night Sniper Mom in the chat says, rooting for Night Sniper number 16. And let me tell you, your boy's doing beautifully in this second stage behind the 21 of Zach 7007. 73 laps remain in stage number 2. And Terry, to my recollection, this is the only driver I've seen currently holding a candle to the 21 of Zach. And not only did Zach win stage number 1, he dominated in Indianapolis last night before he came together with the 14, and he put on one of the most just destructive, dominating performances I've seen, destructive in a good way, at Monaco. Here he is again leading this race, but what does it tell you about car number 16 when he is running with this leader almost effortlessly?
We saw him last night. He sit on the tail end, got himself into a top 5 position at Indy, put himself in a great position in the points, and then we see him again here tonight. We kind of came into this race as it's the great unknown. You pair a bunch of NASCAR guys versus a bunch of guys that don't really do this that often. They don't come out and run in a lot of leagues here. But the 16 has been able to stay there consistently in every single race that he's done so far, and he's doing it just by doing a different strategy than what the 21's doing. And now he finds himself on the back bumper. He is just pushing him around here. Both cars are on a rail, and now the battle for 3rd is about to heat up as Ace Petty has backed her down just a tad bit more. But the battle for the lead is still just as hot as it was a lap ago as the 16's just sitting here coasting in behind him.
70 laps to go in this second stage. The setup man in the chat says if it's got 4 tires and a steering wheel, Zach can drive it, and he is driving the life out of it right now. But the 16 of Night Sniper keeps the pressure on the 21. Here they come down pit road. This is the real test. They all get woed down to the appropriate speed. New leader in car 43, Ace Petty at the point at Charlotte. 69 laps to go, and not so nice. K-Hawk running out of fuel, coming down extremely slow into pit road.
And tough break right now. Nighthawk was doing such a great job right there. I'm surprised he ran out of fuel, unless he just didn't take enough on the stage break. But no surprise with Ace Petty staying out. Now he's going to come down and pit. Here comes the 9 right behind him. 2 cars coming down. Now the real challenge is who's going here. Jumping the fire, goes through the grass.
Coming back up on the racetrack, you saw the 53 of Jump in the Fire taking a trip through the grass, a drag race out of pit road. Night Sniper to the outside, Zach to his inside, out of pit road. Night Sniper taking the position away from car 21. That'll be a fight for the proverbial lead. Optic Goblin in the 55 looks like he's coming down pit road. The 70 of Blitz also going to join him. And the 66 of Vlad Poultry going around and spinning into pit road. The 53 car coming down. Yotes King in the 24, now behind car 88. These two now your new first and second at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Trying to delete a message right here.
The 14 of Baritone Boss now behind the 24 of Yotes. These two looking like they're coming down pit road. The 14 of Baritone Boss trying to get it woed down, comes in extremely fast. Keep your eye on the 14, a potential penalty waiting for him. The 88 of Mr. Slide Job coming down pit road. There's Ace Petty 43. He's ahead of the number 9 car. That's Maverick Moose in the 9. We have 67 laps to go now. Ace Petty getting his lap back and moving into the 5th position. Passing all of these cars, it should be himself, Zachary, and who was it? There's a 16 of Night Sniper. Here's going to be the fight for the first spot when they come back around. Night Sniper to the inside of Zach.
Yeah, Night Sniper is down there, and he took the lead, the proverbial lead, on the exit of pit road. And Zachary's doing everything that he can to get back around him. He knows how fast he is in clean air. He knows he has not had to ride behind anybody. And now he is having to ride behind somebody, as now he's not. 21 jumps to the outside. New leader, 21's got it.
Around the outside, he beats the 16 around that looked like Vlad Poultry that was slow on the inside. And that is Vlad Poultry, extremely slow on the inside, potentially out of fuel. The 55 of Optic Goblin scraping the wall out of 4. Slide Job to the inside. This is a move for the 5th position. 66 laps now remain. Slide Job running 5th, Optic Goblin 6th. That's the 70 of Blitz that's running in the 7th spot. Maverick Moose 4th, Ace Petty in 3rd, Night Sniper 2nd, and Zach leading this race now. What a move that was, and the night carries on. This second stage, much more action-packed than the first.
Yeah, the first stage we saw a lot of people kind of spread out. The fuel strategies, the mind games, the pit games that they were playing with one another was just so differing from one another. But now Night Sniper is hot on the heels of Zachary. Zachary was able to win the first stage. He did it in a dominating fashion. He didn't even have to second guess it. Even with Ace Petty coming down pit road trying to out-pit him, it did not work. And now you see the 16 has been the hottest thing on his heels since the start of stage number 2. Even off of pit road, it was a battle. These two have been the greatest all 3 nights. Tonight is no different. They come into Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Queen City of NASCAR, and they're able to put on a show as they're still 1-2. Zachary is holding it. The Monaco winner had an issue at Indy, comes back out tonight. He is sitting here in P number 1, Night Sniper in P2. The hang-around guy, as they would like to call him so far that I have said, is he's just the guy that gets to stay. He stays behind the fast guys, and he is fast himself. But the setup man out there in the chat that says Night Sniper and Zach both race in the Palmetto Racing League. Everyone from Palmetto is cheering for the both of you. Well, the setup man and all of the Palmetto Racing League family 1-2 in the CluckClash here at Charlotte. A long way to go in a 600-mile race, but they are doing a phenomenal job so far. And our great guy, Rick, had to step away for a second, but I am Terry Radford, aka Ballspan88. We're still bringing you continuous coverage of the CluckClash, brought to you by DI9 Designs. Very great design company. I actually didn't realize, but I have one of their wallpapers on the computer screen that I am currently on right now with Discord and my Twitch channel pulling up, watching the great action from Rick James TV1. If you are not a follower or a subscriber to Rick James TV1, I highly recommend you do. He brings IndyCar, NASCAR, dirt, any series that you could possibly have. Rick James can pull it. As there was an issue with Night Sniper, he loses the front end of the car. He backs away about half a second between him and Zachary. P number 2 has got a little bit further away from him. But as I talk about the amazingness of DI9 Designs, they have custom paint schemes, custom, just everything Chase Elliott you can get. They have no affiliation with Hendrick Motorsports or Chase Elliott, but they bring you the best in your favorite and most popular driver and your reigning, defending, undisputed NASCAR Cup Series champion, Mr. Chase Elliott. Still riding on board with Zachary 7007 Expert Network. Heck yeah, Rick James and Chickenfoot couldn't agree more. The two greatest things merged together. Rick James and the amazing voice that he has, and Chickenfoot Racing. Ace Petty has done a fantastic job across the board as Rick is back. Man, Rick, you missed an exciting little bit of time here. Great fans up there in the chat too.
I can see XRN Network checked in. Setup Man's back as well. Zach still leading this race with Night Sniper behind him. Optic Goblin right behind the 70 of Blitz, trying to swap positions here as they go under the massive TV board down the back straight. Yotes King by his lonesome. Terry, is something wrong with the 24?
I saw back there just for a tad bit that he was having a bit of an issue, but I think he just caught the wall more than he should have caught in the wall. And I think he might be saving just a tad bit because he was not up to full song when he came across the line. This is too early to be saving, Rick.
24 by his lonesome, possibly some different strategy here. Your top 5 still Zachary, Night Sniper, Ace Petty, Maverick Moose, and Blitz, all 7 seconds away from each other, first to 5th. There's Ace Petty in 3rd with Maverick Moose right behind him. Petty could be on a conservation here. 55 laps to go in this second stage, and Petty himself has about 17-ish laps to go. So we'll have to do the math because, of course, you and I are the best at being the worst at math, so I have no idea where he's going to end up here, but he is just a little bit more advanced than the rest of these drivers on fuel strategy. Phenomenal asking about, are these two that far out in front of everyone? You better believe it.
Well, they've been playing the draft so well, Rick. This has been one of those things. We see Ace Petty in 3rd place right here. I mean, the fact that they have been able to push one another up there. Ace off of the pit stop kind of had a slower pit stop than the top 2 did. I don't know if he made an adjustment to his Camaro or not, but it just looks to me as the top 2 up here are just the most dominant guys in the world.
So far, these two up front have been putting on just a blistering pace. The 16 of Night Sniper closely following the 21 of Zach. This is the fight for the lead. And yes, they are more than a full straightaway ahead of everyone else. Terry, what makes the difference between the 21 and the 16 compared to the 43 of Ace Petty, 3rd place, sitting 5 seconds adrift of these two leaders, now catching up on the 14 of Baritone?
It's all going to have to do with how smooth you are, how technical you are around this track. Turns 1 and 2 are very hard to navigate. If you get on the gas just a millisecond too early, it shoots you up the racetrack. Turns 3 and 4, not so much. You can kind of roll it on the bottom. You have to worry about the little dip coming off the exit of turn number 4. But these two have just been right on top of one another when it comes to how their car is set up. Ford and Chevy, you wouldn't think the setups would be identical, but they are. One's a little bit looser, one's a tad bit tighter, but they're doing a phenomenal job going nose to tail as they are starting to come into lap traffic right here as they're coming to pass Baritone Boss.
21 and 16, nose to tail so far. You know what? It sounds like it's time for a poll here. Let's poll the fans here. We have, oh, look at this, the 21 to the outside, 3 wide. right there. 21 to the outside, makes contact with the outside wall. 16 of Night Sniper, now behind him. The 14 of Optic Goblin, just getting out of the way. Terry, what happened?
Oh, my heart almost jumped through my chest. The 21 went down to get around the 14 right there, and he just made ever so contact with the 14, puts himself in the wall. 16 had to check up, back out of it just a tad bit, just to make sure he did not give up the race for him in the 21. Incredible driving from the top two. You asked me a while ago, what was the difference, Rick? That was the difference. The heads-up knowledge that these two have on any racetrack. The setup man said, give it 4 tires and they will drive it. These two gentlemen, give them 4 tires and a steering wheel, and they will be up front at the end.
Before we curse these drivers any further, we're going to put up a poll in the chat. Who will win stage number 2? We're going to have our top 3 to choose from and then other. So Zach, Night Sniper, or Ace Petty 43, and then we'll put other in there. So we'll put the top 3 drivers and other. Who will win stage number 2? Zach, Night Sniper, or Ace Petty? We got 10 minutes to answer that with 48 laps to go in stage number 2.
I don't know how you can go with anybody but Zach. Zach has been the fastest guy for the people who have not been out in the chat very long or watching this amazing CluckClash. But we haven't seen anybody until Night Sniper came up here really challenge him. We saw Ace Petty take the lead for a very slight second, but he gave it right back because he was having to save so much. And Zach's pulling away with such a huge commanding lead with Night Sniper that even fuel strategy can't compete right now. So it's going to be curious to see how the race is going to go. Is there going to be a mistake, or is this going to go play right into the 16 and 21's hand?
Something's going on with the 43 here, Terry. We'll put a pin in that. The 55 of Optic Goblin and the 70 of Blitz easily overtaking Ace Petty, who's now dropped down to 5th place. With 45 to go next time by, the 55 of Optic Goblin just tears into the wall, head first, incredibly slow out of turn number 2. Night Sniper still in second, chasing down the 21. It looks like K-Hawk is retired, Terry. K-Hawk is retired. The 66 of Vlad has retired. So their CluckClash dreams are over. And goodness me, that was the 14 of Baritone. No, that was the 55 of Optic Goblin. Just plowed into the wall head on.
Yeah, sad night for these two to be over so far. Optic Goblin having a bit of an issue as well. I mean, I don't know how they're doing 600 miles. I could barely get past 300 without wanting to fall asleep, but they're keeping it exciting for us out here. They're running a great race so far. The top two are still right on top of one another, and the battling has not stopped from the drop of the green flag. We see battles all over this racetrack, and here comes Jumping the Fire back here. Looking back at him, he's catching Mr. Slide Job.
Ace Petty 43 running 4th right now. That looks to be Blitz up ahead. That's Maverick Moose right behind. We're going to have green flag pit stops in just a moment. The current poll right now says who will win stage number 2. 67% of the fans currently voting for Zach 7007, while 33% of the fans voting for Ace Petty 43. We've got just over half of the time remaining in that poll. And there's a vote for Night Sniper right there. He's got 14% of the vote currently, running in 2nd place. There is the 2nd place Night Sniper with pit stops just a couple of laps away, Terry.
Well, laps ahead for these pit stops. Is Ace Petty going to pull the same strategy he pulled in stage number 1, or is he going to pit alongside of everybody else? I mean, everybody's had such differing strategies here tonight. It's going to be very weird to see who comes down when and who does what. But we know one thing, the top two, it doesn't matter where they're pitting or what lap they pit, they're going to pit right behind one another. They're going to absolutely have to, because if one stays out, that's about a second gap that they're going to give up to one another.
Cape in the chat saying, what's up, fellas? Saying what's up to myself, to Terry right beside me. Mama Vols getting in on the love. And folks, if you don't know about More Than a Cape, as we watch this 1-2 battle right here, morethanAcape.org and the TJ's Team Foundation are a marvelous organization that helps fight pediatric cancer, helping families, and it helps you be more than just a cape to these heroes. They are a 501c3 that is a non-profit organization, and let me tell you a little bit about them. It's the story about TJ, a wonderful, gorgeous little boy, and his fight against cancer. And I could go on forever. We have racing to talk about here, but morethanAcape.org is where you need. There you go. Vols fan joining me right there. Head on over to morethanAcape.org. Learn about TJ. Fight cancer, help families, and be more than a cape to these heroes with this 501c3. Check them out, morethanAcape.org. Night Sniper getting out of pit road. The 21 is not. The 21 is not. Terry, speeding penalty for car 21.
Oh, big blow to the, not going to jinx him, to the fastest car out here, but he has time to make it up. I mean, all the people, the 63% that voted for Zach 7007, including myself, I thought he had the chance to do it. But Night Sniper, he got one vote. And that one vote, whoever it was, I want to take him to Vegas or her to Vegas. I want to go with the smartest person right there in the poll, because here comes the 16. He is in the catbird seat to potentially win this stage.
Currently leading down the back into turn number 3, Ace Petty, 43. He's got the 9 of Maverick Moose right behind him, the lone Canadian in this race. Driving behind the Ream Chevrolet, who's now coming down for tires and fuel. Moose gonna try to join him, and he almost bins it into the wall. The 55 of Optic Goblin now into pit road. 37 laps to go this time by. These drivers taking on 30 laps of fuel, so there will be at least one more pit stop in this race for each and every one of these drivers. 30 is the magic number that they want to reach. Night Sniper 5 lead, well, the potential lead when stops cycle back around. A lot of cars, almost everybody now coming down pit road, getting tires and fuel. Terry, what a development. Zach, who's been dominating all race long, now in the back after making a pit road speeding error that could cost him the Stage 2 win. It could even cost him potentially the CluckClash Triple Crown.
And this is what we've been talking about. This is something that we have developed over the entire 3 nights. I mean, you brought it up on Friday. Mistakes could be the most crucial thing possible. We talked about it last night at Indy. Mistakes are big. We saw Slide Job make a mistake. We saw Ace Petty make mistakes. We saw Jump in the Fire make a mistake. And right now, the mental aspect that's coming into this, they are 150 miles into 600, or I think my math is off there. They're a long way into this race. And if you're making a mistake this early into the race, we're midway through Stage 2, 100 plus laps in, you have 400 looking at you. If you're making the mistake now, it's only going to get worse as you potentially go through to the very end. It's incredible here.
Mr. Slidejob 1996 leading this race. The 53 of Jump in the Fire currently a lap down behind the race leader. Maverick Moose holding what I believe to be the second position. There's the 9 car up ahead. Optic Goblin a lap down in the 55. Zach right behind him. Unless Goblin's running... No, because Blitz is 3rd. Ace Petty is in the 4th spot there. It looks like Yotes King retiring in the 24. A terrible shame. The leader Slide Job is in. There's the 43 of Ace Petty. He is now still in 4th, just getting his lap back. A little bit difficult to tell with Heat 5 where these drivers sit, as Heat 5 doesn't give us any sort of visual on who's in the lead. But if you want to follow along yourself just like us, twitch.tv/Seafoot Racing is where you can see Ace Petty 43. He's currently running 4th on the racetrack right now. That's where you can follow along like us and count down the laps as we go along. 33 to go in Stage 2. Maverick Moose, I believe, leading this. No, he's not even close to leading this race. Let's take a look. There's Night Sniper right there. There's your race leader, Terry, the 16 of Night Sniper.
Yeah, Night Sniper takes this lead, and we knew it was going to come, but at what cost did it come? it came at the cost and the expense of Mr. Zachary making a mistake on pit road and speeding. You have Yotes King in the chat. He said he got stuck by the dang pit road glitch. Yeah, we would think the same. But 10 seconds between second and third behind the race leader of Night Sniper. That is an incredible lead. And if I'm Night Sniper right now, he's only maybe 1 to 2 laps to the negative. Ace Petty's already starting to save along with Blitz. Maybe 16's having to do the same right now.
Night Sniper still with a lot of time to go in this race. 31 laps to go, leading this one by quite an incredible margin. Blitz running second, Ace Petty in the third position. There's Ace Petty right there. He's running third, right behind Blitz. Ace Petty still not shifting into neutral that I've seen, Terry. He is shifting now. He just did it for the first time into turn number 3. Ace Petty with the shifting package on his rig that allows him to shift into neutral, save fuel, while also drafting behind the 70 of Blitz. But now he's going for second. He thinks otherwise and backs off. He must be in fuel conservation mode for the final 30 here.
Yeah, I believe they all are in fuel conservation mode because everybody who pitted at the exact same time as the leaders, Ace Petty and them pitted 1 lap prior to when Night Sniper came onto pit lane with, or 1 lap later, I'm sorry, than him and Zachary. So now it would be 2 laps negative for Ace and Blitz compared to 3 for the leader. So if I'm the leader right now, I'm wanting to back it down as much as possible. It would have to be a miracle for them to make it, but stranger things have happened over the past 3 nights.
The fans have spoken with 64% of the chat. The fans say that Zach7007 is going to win stage number 2. No, he's not, because he got, unfortunately, a pit road speeding penalty. There he is behind the 55 of Optic Goblin, currently running in the 6th position. But just like that, we were talking about it at Indianapolis. Now that it's happened here, just the fortune of your race can change like that.
Yeah, anything could happen. Anything could happen here. We keep bringing it up because things keep happening. I mean, we thought last night Baritone Boss was the absolute favorite. Led over 100 laps at Indy. Something happens. Something gets taken away from him. The race is over for him. He ended up finishing in the 5th or the 4th place position, and they ended up taking it. He was gone. We come here tonight. We thought Zachary was the guy to beat. We said there's no way. The only one that could beat him is himself. Night Sniper made a valiant effort right there with him, and Zachary makes a pit road mistake. It's a simple mistake. It's a bobble in the corner. It's speeding by 1 mile an hour on pit road. It's just the smallest, minute things take you out of a chance to win the stage, and they're going to bunch back up again, Rick. But it still doesn't take away the points that he could have made. He lost about 4 points on that pit stop.
It's costing him dearly for sure. We'll see where he ends up at the end of stage number 2. Easily one of the fastest drivers in competition tonight. But he'll have to work it back, and now he'll have to work back from that adversity, to quote Rick Allen once again. Now's the question: what is Night Sniper really made out of? He's leading this race, and he's going to hold on to this lead. He's got a fantastic lead over second place Blitz and the 43 of Ace Petty. There's Ace Petty sitting in third, Blitz up ahead in second. But now, Zach7007, we just saw him coming out of turn number 4. There he is behind Optic Goblin. What is the pilot of this 21 going to do now? And I'll ask you, the driver, Terry, is he writing off the second stage, I guess is what I'm driving at.
You would absolutely have to. I mean, you would absolutely have to write this off as a tax write-off. That's what he's going to have to do. He's going to go, I've got to throw this out. Throw it in the back of your mind. And now each and every time he comes down pit road, all he's going to think about is, well, I messed up. I made a mistake. That mistake's going to ride with him until he does it right again. He's probably sitting there in that 21 Ford going, well, I messed up big time. Now I'm stuck here in 5th. I'm stuck here in 6th. Now I got to climb back up to the front. I've got to do it all over again when I shouldn't have had to. And he's kicking himself in the behind because he should not be in this position. And now his car's handling different. It's not what it was in the lead. It's behind cars. He hasn't had to do that much tonight.
22 laps to go in this second stage. The 21 of Zach now to the outside of Optic Goblin for position, and we bring in a special guest in tonight's festivities, driver of the now defunct number 24 Exalta Chevrolet, AZ Yotes King. Yotes, terrible break of luck tonight, my friend. We're genuinely, it sucks that you have to be here with us and not out on the track.
Yeah, it was a bit of a heartbreaker to see that glitch come in and actually affect my race. But I felt like I had an excellent car, tried everything I could up until that last moment. But excited to be up here. I appreciate you giving me the offer, and I can't wait to call this race with y'all.
The 14 of Baritone Boss Terry, he's following behind Slide Job diligently. One car that has nobody to follow. That's 16 of Night Sniper, leading by his lonesome. Is it more pressure than some drivers can handle to be in the lead by themselves?
I don't know. I mean, we saw Zachary. He was up front for the longest time. The pressure didn't get to him, but the pressure got to him when Night Sniper was on his back bumper. I think if we go back to earlier in the race, earlier on the first pit stop of stage number 2, we saw Night Sniper and Zachary bump nose to nose coming down pit road. He got beat. And I think the next time he came down pit road, the reason he sped is because he knew, I have to be the fastest. I have to get into pit road to beat him by that slightest second. Night Sniper's doing a fantastic job right at the bottom, kind of putting it on a Sunday drive right here. I mean, he's pulled away about 10 seconds from Ace Petty and then in P number 2. He's doing a phenomenal job right now.
Yotes, this 16 of Night Sniper just up ahead by himself. What are the dangers in these final 20 laps? Everybody still has one more pit stop to make.
I mean, a lot of things can come into play here. Night Sniper can get the most famous black flag, considering that is in play. Although I feel like he has the speed, he's been very confident. Every time he's passed me like I am sitting there in a parking spot. He's killing it. He's got the draft too, which is helping him out. I'm excited to see how this is going to play out. But like I said, he's just got to keep those mistakes to a minimum.
Terry now inside the final 20 here. Night Sniper still leads. Second place is the 70, is now actually Ace Petty 43. Let's go back a couple of spots. He got around Blitz. So it is Ford, Chevy, Toyota. I'm sorry, no, Night Sniper's in a Chevrolet, excuse me. It's Chevy, Toyota, with Night Sniper leading, Ace in second, and Blitz in third. Is there any pit strategy that's going to do anything for these guys? Because it seems like with the 21 of Zach falling off due to that pit error, Zach's really his own kryptonite, if you will, took hold of him in stage number 2. So it almost looks like this stage is potentially written off, but for potential speeding penalties.
Well, if you look right now at where Zachary is, he could make up for this if he out-hits the people in front of him. He's only about 3 seconds off of second place right now as he runs. So, I mean, just a straightaway link. He can see Ace Petty. He can see Optic right in front of him. If he was to pit maybe a lap or 2 sooner than them, you're in your pit window. You're in your box. If he comes down pit road, throws that away, he has a chance to get up there and potentially get back to P number 2. P number 1's out of the question unless Night Sniper makes a mistake, in which I do not see that happening. But anything is possible. 21 is fighting his heart and soul right now, coming out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway.
Yotes, the setup man, says Night Sniper won 3 races in the Palmetto League last season. In all 3 races, he capitalized on someone else's mistake. He just doesn't make mistakes. He won't beat himself, but there's still 300 plus miles to go. If in these next, and everyone has another pit stop to make, mind you, Yotes, if everyone, if let's say it finishes how it is, Night Sniper wins stage number 2, is that enough confidence for him to do it again in stage 3 and again in stage 4?
I don't know. That's a tough one because Zachary had the same mentality after stage 1, coming in saying, hey, you know what? I'm top dog. I got the chance. Night Sniper, yes, I feel like he can do it. He'll get it done. He can come in with that confidence and continue that rolling throughout the end of this race.
The 43 of Ace Petty just ahead of the 70 of Blitz. These two fighting for that second place position just until the pit stops here. And Terry, expect to see some quick ones. Drivers don't need to take 4 tires, or will they? How much of a difference is those 2 tires? Is it 2 tires versus 4 tires in what will be the final 10 laps?
Not taking 2 tires here unless it is the last 10 laps of this race and that's my only chance to win. That's the Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary at Lambeau type situation. I would need my crew chief to go Green Bay in my ear for me to ever take 2 tires at Charlotte. It's 4 tires are bust here at Charlotte right now. This early in the race, I don't see anybody making a big jump, especially with 8.9 seconds from second to first with six laps remaining. And just strategy, here comes the 21. He is pitting well before the people up front.
The 41 of Zach coming down pit road. What's this going to mean? Night Sniper's in as well. So the 21 following the leader right here. Night Sniper coming down pit road, 21 coming with him. And now here's the 5 of Bus Driver. He's getting out ahead. The 21 now leaving the 16. The 21 coming down pit road. The 16's got his service. He's down and away. Jump in the Fire also coming down pit road. Bus Driver exiting. K-Hawk and Vlad Poultry not going to finish this race. Now the 43 of Ace Petty leading this one with the 70 of Blitz behind him, putting the 28 of Infiltrator a lap down. Infiltrator with a high, how do you do, to the 70 of Blitz. When do these two come down? Do they stretch it to the end, knowing it makes no difference? They all have to come down. Here comes Blitz. Terry with the 43 of Ace Petty now crossing this line in the lead. He's got 9 laps to go and another 3-ish laps before the fuel goes to the end. Is there any benefit in running the fuel all the way to the end?
No, not in this time. You don't have that many laps to go. If I was him, I would have instantly came down the moment you saw that the 2 fastest guys, Night Sniper and Zachary, both came down pit road. All you're doing at this very moment is you're burning your stuff up, and you are allowing them to gain more time on you. And now here he comes down pit road. Ace Petty's going to take that dive down the pit lane. 16's going to go ahead and get his lap back. And I would not be surprised if this goes over 10.5, maybe even 11-second lead for the 16.
Ace Petty now taking down, as you can see on his stream. We'll put that link in the chat so you can follow along. Only taking half a can of fuel and right side tires. There's the link where you can follow along, just like Terry, Yotes, and I. Yotes taking 2 or 4 tires inside the final 10 laps. What do you call?
I tried it last time and it worked out decently well. I'm going to go with those right sides. If you're coming in for that can, might as well pick up those right side tires at the same time. It's going to be the same speed, no difference. Might as well add on some extra grip.
Terry inside the final 10. Ace Petty coming out in the 4th position. The leader, Night Sniper, the leader before the stop cycled around. Night Sniper leaving turn number 4, getting into the wall on those cold-ish tires, if you will. Trying to find who's leading this race currently. I believe it could be the 88, but look at this, the 70 of Blitz. Now to the inside of Ace Petty. This is for the 3rd position. Blitz getting around Ace Petty for 3rd, what would potentially be 2nd at the end of stage 2, Terry.
Yeah, but I'm paying attention back here. I looked at what we could be seeing with the 21. He has put himself in a marvelous position as he is about to pass the leader. Looks like the 88 is the leader on the racetrack. He's going to get his lap back. You know, I don't know where that put him in relation to Ace and the 70, but it's rather close to one another. 4 tires versus 2, there's still a good bit of laps to go here. I've got to go with the 4 because the 4 is going to make the most sense here, as Slide Job is going to yield the position, or not the position, he's going to yield the lap back to the 21. Looks like Slide Job is pushing it to the very end to run it out.
Setup Man in the chat says, I think 2 tires with only 6 laps to go is a good move. Lord Racer, the Setup Man, phenomenal. Vols and I, Cape, all just having an awesome debate about the current NASCAR season. A lot of racing talk going on. And if you're just joining us in these final 4 laps, I'm Rick James, joined by Bulls Fan 88, aka Terry Radford, and Yotes King, bringing you the final night of CluckClash Triple Crown Racing from the Charlotte Motor Speedway, the final 600-mile act in our 1,281-mile weekend. Guys, what a weekend it's been so far. Vols fan in the chat. Terry saying if Larson doesn't win the title, we riot. We'll see until November, but this CluckClash Triple Crown coming down to the final 300 miles, the 88 of Slide Job, still leading. Do you think he can go all the way?
Oh no, absolutely not. I think he's either saving really hard or he's almost out. He just got past, like he was sitting still in a bumper-to-bumper traffic right there. He might try it. I mean, we saw last night, he drove that Indy car until it was out of gas. But here in Charlotte's a little bit different. If he runs out of gas on that back straightaway, he has a long way to go in a very slow stock car when these things start to sputter to get back around. But if anybody's going to try it, this 88 will.
Slide Job in that 88 car coming to his white flag here. One more lap in stage number 2. Fans at home, we are going to take a 30-second break just to go ad-free for new viewers for 10 minutes. There's the white flag in the air. One more lap to go for Mr. Slide Job 1996 in this second stage. So Zach getting the stage 1 victory. Slide Job just has to hang on for another half lap to get the stage 2 victory. Then we'll reset and you won't want to miss the start of stage number 3. But what a night it's been so far. Out of the final corner, the number 88 CorvetteParts.net Chevrolet of Mr. Slide Job 1996 gets the stage 1 win. Trying to see who's going to finish second. Right now there's a battle for third between Blitz and Ace Petty. Not sure there. Certainly won't be Yotes King. Sorry about that, Yotes. Baritone Boss out of fuel on the backstretch there. There's the battle for third, and it looks like it's going to be Blitz who gets that one there. No, look at that. Look at that. Blitz actually giving up third place to Ace Petty. I'm not sure if he got into the wall at the end. Kind of a funky finish there, but anyway, we'll be back in 30 for the start of stage 3. Fans at home, if you are a subscriber to Rick James TV, thank you so much for coming along with us, and you go ad-free because of your subscription. It makes each and every one of these streams possible. Thank you so much. Terry, thank you for being here. Yotes, thank you for being a guest voice, man. You having a good time?
Yeah, I'm having a good time. I think this is not going so well, man. I think you don't go ahead and kick me out. So if you can send me an invite back, Terry, that'd be much appreciated.
Gotcha, sir.
Out of the fourth corner, getting ready to start this third stage of racing with Slide Job on the inside lane, Night Sniper on the outside lane, green flag is out, and stage number 3 of night 3 in the CluckClash getting ready, well, getting underway side by side through the first couple corners.
It's still side by side for P number 2 and P number 3 as they're sitting here battling. Just the all-around fight that these guys have given tonight. The points were super close coming into this. It was only a 2-point swing for Zachary for Optic Goblin. I mean, 2 points difference, 4, 1, and 2, 3 for Baritone Boss, 5 for Ace Petty. And just the points that they've been able to make so far, Ace Petty looks like he is going to gain a couple, he's going to jump a couple points up with the stage finish that he's had. 16 jumping to the outside. Here comes Zachary to the P5 position, Rick.
Zach moving into the top 5, 88-43, your top 2. And then there's the 70 of Blitz in the third spot. Chevy, Toyota out of the fourth corner. Drivers scrambling for position. Your stage 1 winner, Zachary, now behind the 55 of Optic Goblin. Crossing this line, everybody makes it through safe and sound to start stage number 3. 95 laps to go in this period of racing. Terry, oh goodness me, I was just going to say, Terry, the 14 of Optic Goblin having an issue, almost losing the car out of turn number 2, gets it back underway. The 21 of Zach being pushed up the racetrack, almost into the wall by the 9 of Maverick Moose, and the lone Canadian not so friendly there. He might get a little gesture and a wave as the 21 of Zach comes back around, almost avoiding a 3-wide situation. Slide Job still leading, Ace Petty second, and now Night Sniper moves into third, Terry. 3 Chevys on the podium.
Chevys on the podium, and Ace Petty moving himself into P number 2 on that restart. He did an excellent job getting through the gears as quickly as possible. 16 and Night Sniper has been right up his back tailpipes, and he's right there. He is right on the tailgate of them. He's doing what he has to do. Slide Job playing the strategy to perfection, keeping himself in the lead. The two Chevys up front have been the strategic men tonight, as now they're sitting 1 and 2. Strategy playing off great starting on stage number 3.
Yo, it's single file for these guys in the start of this third stage here, nearing 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Still sunlight out for a lot of us, so thank you so much for being here for this fun time. Give us a shout in the chat. Mama Vol's having some trouble hearing us audio-wise, so let us know if you all can't hear us. The 70 of Blitz on the outside. But Yotes, as we were saying here, in the start of stage 3, the race is half over now. Less than 300 miles to go. You know everything you need to know about your car. What now for those drivers leading the race? What now for those drivers in the back of this race?
Obviously, the guys in the back got to do something opposite than what they're pulling right now, because it is not working out for them. Or they could go for the field strategy. If they can play out in the field strategy, come out, make it, execute it, I think you can see them up in the front.
Terry, the leaders have been leading as they typically do in a race. Is there any driver we have yet to see in the top 5 that's going to come through this field?
I keep looking right here at the number 9 of Maverick. He's been right there. Every time we have a chance to go down pit road, every time they try to do something, he makes a small change. He might be throwing the kitchen sink at it, but he has every time we go back green, he finds another position. He finds another 10th. He's doing what he needs to do. We talked about the stage rates being so crucial. You get 97 to 100 laps on the racetrack before you get to throw the biggest Hail Mary at it possible. The 9 is doing that. He is moving his way up. Now he's sitting in the P5 position right now. He's charging to the front.
89 laps to go. Here is your third place driver, Night Sniper, sitting in that number 16 Gatorade Chevrolet Optic Goblin, last night's winner at Indianapolis. Behind him in 4th, Chevy, Ford, your top 4. And in stage 2, Terry, it was the 21 of Zach and the 16 of Sniper that just broke away from the field. Now it looks like these top 4 are starting to leave some advantage between themselves and Blitz in 5th place. 10 laps underway in stage 3.
Yeah, the fact that every time we go to stage break, you see more cars come into it. Every single time we go under the yellow flag for that thing, they go down pit road, they make the change necessary. It kind of gets in the monotony of when you're riding around and you're just doing the little things that you have to do, that one small air pressure adjustment puts you in a position to potentially race for the lead. And we saw Night Sniper. He's having a tough time getting around Ace Petty and around Slide Job for the P2 and first position. So it's going to be curious to see what he has to do to make his car better. That Chevy is going really fast, but it's not going fast enough to get past the top 2 leaders, as now he's underneath Ace Petty.
There's the 16 of Night Sniper looking to the inside of the 43, but he'll think otherwise with the 55 of Night Goblin filling in the gap. And these 4 definitely pulling away from the rest of these drivers, possibly some drafting strategy at work, trying to have a race of their own.
Top 3 are having a race of their own, and back behind them, I mean, maybe just a couple positions back, you see a pack of 3 other cars, and then behind that's a pack of another 3 cars. I mean, they are all packing up with one another, very similar setups in just about every single one of the cars that is in their pack. It's going to be curious to see, can the top 4 continue to break away? The top 3 are moving away from 4th place, but now as they come out of the back straightaway, he's able to move himself right back to the back bumper of 3rd.
Yotes King, thank you so much for hanging out with us today, my friend. Unfortunately, you shared time with us in the booth as we see a pass for 3rd. Enjoy the rest of your evening and stay tuned with us, man. You're going to want to see the end of this race.
Most definitely, I will make sure to catch up, see what everything's about. If y'all make sure you follow and hit that post notification so you know when he is going live. I will be there. I will be hanging out. Appreciate you. Thank you for the offer for letting me in tonight.
Thank you, Yotes King. Have a good one. Slide Job leading Ace Petty. These two good friends, but even more fierce rivals when they're nose to tail like this. Optic Goblin putting his Miller Ford in the third position. That number 55 machine taking a peek. Here's Goblin to the inside of the 43. Terry, he has the mist in his eyes. The 88 of Slide Job tries to block, ends up rubbing off more speed. Goblin gives him a little bit back. 3 wide out of turn number 2. The 88's in the wall. New leader, Optic Goblin, and there's a wreck out of 2. The 70 of Blitz. The 9 has been involved. The 21's in it. The 16 of Night Sniper involved in that one. The 21 of Zach barely coming off of that one. Now to the inside of car number 14, Baritone Boss. Huge wreck out of the second corner. Ace Petty back to the front with 82 laps to go. The 70 of Blitz, who finished third in stage number 2, and the 16 of Night Sniper, who led an insane amount of laps with a 5-second lead involved in that backstretch crash.
As we saw at Indy, Charlotte typically pays the same. We saw a wreck in the night of Baritone Boss last night, and tonight we could potentially be seeing the end of Night Sniper up front. He has been the most dominant guy, and right now Ace Petty and the strategy call puts him there. Optic Goblin got a little bit of a run right there and a block. In 2 nights, a block caused a big crash, and it also allows the 21 to insert himself back into the top 4 and put him back in for a race for the win.
Slide Job in the 88 car sitting third with 80 laps to go. The setup man saying the last 3 stages are all the same length. These guys better learn from Slide Job's fuel strategy, or he's going to beat them with the same fuel strategy in stages 3 and 4. Terry, there's truth to that. These last stages, all 97 laps. Slide Job with the fuel strategy winning stage number 2. Is it going to be the same thing here, or will someone pick up on this just like they picked up on Ace's strategy in stage 1? With 79 to go in this third stage, I think it's just a little too early to tell.
They're going to have to, and we're going to see, based off of the first pit stop that they make in this stage, did somebody pick up on what he did? Because he stayed out there 2 to 3 laps extra than everybody else on each and every pit stop that they made. And I know that might not make a big difference. It might not be like the greatest thing to do. But that combines for 6 laps, if my math's correct. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. They've changed the math. 3 plus 3 might not equal 6 anymore. But he stayed out. He made the change. He made the difference. And he's done it fantastically.
Lord Racer says, you know what that crash reminded me of? The Bandicoot from the PS1 game series. 1, he's not wrong, but 2, I hate that he's so right. Ace Petty now battling with Optic Goblin for the lead, the 55, right up his back trumpet. Terry, it looks like the 43 has another rival, someone to fight with him, but this time the fuel strategy for the 43 could be in jeopardy because he's not saving as much fuel at the front of this race.
Yeah, 43's not been able to save as much fuel as he did before because Optic Goblin in the 55 has been able to stay on his back bumper. Kind of like what Night Sniper and Zachary were both doing when they were changing the lead. They were interchangeable, pushing one another all the way through the whole turn and the whole entire track. Right now you see the 55 and the 43 are nose to tail around here. The 88 of Slide Job was involved in the crash, but he was able to stay right behind him. He's still catching the toe. He's catching the draft all throughout this racetrack on the straightaways. And as long as people want to go with Pocono straightaways, Charlotte has very long straightaways as well. It doesn't seem like you're going as far, but they are. And Ace Petty is normally the conservative guy. Right now, here comes Slide Job. He is battling the 55. He just got into him right a little while before. Is he going to repay the favor, get into the 55 here? And he won't. 55 goes into the wall. Touch for them, change for a second. Here comes Slide Job, and now he's going back for the lead that he had about 10 laps earlier. 55 still rides here in P number 3. Slide Job stays in P number 2. Ace Petty holding the lead and holding it well. 21 is coming up for the 3rd place position as now he has overtaken the 5th are the fourth place machine and gained himself back up here side by side for the lead, as it looks like Slide Job in the 88, friend or not, he wants it. He's going to take it. New leader here at Charlotte, the Coke 600, Slide Job in the 88.
Out of the fourth corner, 88-43, 1-2, Slide Job back to the front with the 43 behind him now. To the lead once again with 73 laps to go in stage number 3. And the stage 2 winner trying to get a little bit of a gap ahead of the 43 car, but it's going to be difficult. Don't look now, Terry, but in your rear view mirror, that green and tan Club Car 21 Mustang of Zach is closing the gap.
Yeah, he's been closing ever so slightly every single time they have come around this racetrack and crossed the start-finish line. I would not be the least surprised if he's able to come up here. He knows the mistake he made in stage number 2. He knows that it cost him valuable points and that the people behind him had gained substantial amounts tonight, especially with stage breaks. This is not like Monaco or Indy. You have stage points that come into effect here tonight. There's 4 chances to gain stage points, and he lost one of them. He doesn't want to make it number 2 here in stage number 3.
Slide Job just ahead of the 43 of Ace Petty there. There's Zach coming back through in that 21 car. Optic Goblin sitting in third. Here's a driver who we praised his consistency last night. Terry, that consistency got him the win. It was a right place, right time situation when the leaders got together in turn number 3. Zach and Baritone Boss wrecking each other out of that third corner. Goblin was there and he picked up 20 points last night.
He picked up 20 points by doing exactly what he's doing right now, sitting in third, not making a crazy move. Now he's to the outside of Ace Petty in the 43. He's going to think twice of it, but here comes the 21. He's doing exactly what he did. He stays back there in third, monitors what the weaknesses are for the top 2, and then when it's time to strike, Goblin makes the strike. He makes the move like a cobra in the heat of the moment, makes the right move at the right time, and he's figuring it out as he has a very hungry 21 Club Ford right behind him.
These 4 cars now nose to tail, and they can smell the fumes off of each other. The 21 of Zach to the inside of Goblin, but he can't pull off the move just yet. Do you think this is a rather tough waste of resources trying to pass so early in stage number 3? The 88 car in stage 2 making it clear that this can be won with fuel mileage. The 21 now coming in. These 3 staying out. 88 still leading, but the 55 looks like he's going to try and remain on the same strategy as the 88 and the 43.
Yeah, I mean, if I was the 55 right here, I'm following the leaders at this moment. You have no other choice. You got beat by fuel mileage on that the last stage. The 88 had it figured out. So do what he did. You know, we talked in here, the setup man said it best, and he's going to go off. He's coming down pit road now. But the setup man said it best. They're the exact same length. All the stages are the same. So do what he does, because he is either going to beat you or you're going to be right. It's a 50-50 chance. If Slide Job proved to be correct in stage number 2, 55 down pit road, 43-88 still the top 2.
21 and the 14 side by side out of the pit road exit. The 43 of Ace Petty now following the 88 of Slide Job into pit road. Both of these drivers must be careful not to exceed the 45 mile an hour pit road speed limit. 66 laps to go, and these drivers will take on 30 laps of fuel in their hot rods. The 9 of Maverick Moose racing out on the track. He's got the 70 of Blitz right behind him. Those 2 coming together. Night Sniper in the 16 getting a big hit from the 43. Now, fans, when you see the cars coming together, no damage, and it's not by driver design, it's by game design that the drivers' cars end up making contact on pit road. 16 is down and away. There's the 70 of Blitz following diligently the 9 of Maverick Moose, and we'll get you an update on the leader when these 2 come back out.
Oh, they're about to get overtaken by the 21. Here he comes. Slide Job's going to come back on the track, but the 14 and the 21 was able to overtake right there. 21 looks like he is going to be the leader. Baritone Boss, he's done. He lagged out of the race. 14's on pit road.
14's on pit road. He's out of the race after battling with the 21 car. Those cars getting their lap back, I believe. No, Optic Goblin currently running in the second position, so that does make Zach your leader. You're exactly right. Zach leading in that 21 car. He's got a good, decent gap between himself and Optic Goblin in the 55 in second, Slide Job third, Ace Petty in fourth, and now it's going to be once again like it was in stage one, Terry, outright speed versus clever fuel mileage. We're about a third of the way into this stage. Zach now has the target on his back.
We look at what 1 lap and 2 laps of hitting before somebody will do. I mean, we saw that the 21 came down 2 laps prior than the 55, and then another lap prior for the other 2 to come down. 55 came down 2 laps before them, 3 laps before the 21. The 21 said, I have to do something different. He was on the back bumper of them, and he gained about a second. I mean, that was a second gain just by coming out on fresher tires. And now the 88 and the 43 have fresher tires, but the 43 is in a little bit of traffic. He has people behind him fighting him, rather than the leader in the second place and third place guy not having anybody in sight.
Big shout out to Jay Pricer, 02, Big Ben 0397, all following, and then Phenomenal, all following within this last hour, guys. Thank you so much. The setup man in the chat says the guys that don't have a clutch are at a real disadvantage when it comes to fuel saving. And really, you do have to agree with him, because the 88 and the 43, 2 drivers confirmed to have a clutch. I don't know about the rest of the field, but Slide Job in the 88 running third, Ace Petty in the 43 car running fourth. I believe they have clutches, and they do have that exceptional fuel saving rate. Zach in the 21, Optic Goblin in the 55 are going to try to beat them with brawn rather than strategy. And still so much stage to go, but now the 88 and the 43 have to save enough fuel to outdo the blistering pace that the 21 is putting out on the track, Terry, because the last time Zach was out here, he smashed this field to pieces in stage one.
Yeah, he finally regained his position back at the head of the table. I mean, we've seen him, he had the issue, and then we saw the 16 have an issue. It's just a strategic game of luck. I mean, they're playing checkers because most of us are too dumb to play chess. And some of them are out there trying to play chess right now. The 43, 88 are trying to do it on fuel mileage. The 21, the 55, they're trying to do it on raw speed. And raw speed only gets you so far. Now, the 88 just passed the 55 for P number 2, and those fresh tires, even though they're only 3 lap fresher tires, they're making a world of difference as the speed has picked up in this racetrack.
Zach leading this race and breaking away with a good lead over the rest of his competitors. There's Slide Job now getting around Optic Goblin for second. This could cut into Slide Job's fuel strategy. Optic Goblin back to his inside. Ace Petty in the 43 car. He sits in fourth. He's currently behind 9th place, 1 lap down, jump in the fire. Slide Job now to the inside of Goblin, who looks to block him out of turn 4. Slide Job raising himself high up on the racetrack behind Optic Goblin. Down through the dog leg, kicking up that dirt into the air. Drivers now 40 laps underway in stage 3, and the fight for second starting to get exciting.
Yeah, they're fighting like Rowdy Burns and Cold Trickle on the highway racing to dinner. They are beating and banging. They are not want to give each other an inch, because they know that if anything is to happen to the leader, as if a speeding penalty could take him out again, that they would proverbially take the lead back, and they would have it in a clear-cut advantage. 55 wants no part of the 88. Neither does the 88 want a part of the 55, but they are trying to chase the 21 down, who has been the fastest guy here in all 3 events. And tonight at Charlotte proves no different for Zachary.
I love that Days of Thunder reference with the Cold Trickle and Rowdy Burns. Not only is that a great scene, I don't know if you saw Frozen Toes' Twitter today. And for those that don't know, Frozen Toes is another great in the broadcasting community. On her Twitter, she had a crash of, I think it was her driving on iRacing, and she just drove through the smoke in a crash in Dover. And it reminded me immediately of Days of Thunder. Absolutely love that reference. Now, you know what? Now I gotta go watch that movie. I think to celebrate CluckClash, I think I'm going to go watch probably like a good IndyCar movie, maybe a NASCAR movie the day after that. What's a good, do you know any good IndyCar movies? Because I don't. Put that in the chat.
Ribbon.
Fans, no. You and I are going to fight. I promise you, we're going
I'm
to
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We are going to come to virtual blows. If one, you say that again, and two, man, I'm already upset. I can't. I'm already upset. What a terrible film. Luckily, we're not.
A terrible movie.
Oh my gosh, that movie sucks. But
it is so awful.
there's a good friend of mine. You might know Al Simkowski. He goes by my gosh, Stitch. He goes by Stitch. And he always does that to make me upset. He always tells me that Driven is such a good movie, and it's not a good movie, and I'll fight anybody. I will argue with anybody that tells me that it is. We now have, 54 laps to go in this third stage of racing. Zach just peeling this field like a banana, but the fight for second's still pretty close.
Well, it's like saying your favorite cereal is Raisin Bran to get under your skin.
I can't stand
The best cereal, the best flavor on the track right now is this 21. The history of the 21 at Charlotte, like we talked the history with the 43, the Wood brothers are synonymous with the 21. So many wins have came here at Charlotte. Zachary's looking to put the 21 in victory lane tonight, overcoming a speeding penalty in stage number 2. Now he finds himself back up to the lead, following the Slory with the 16. He was involved in that accident. Can he rebound to the front, show his pure speed again, or is he going to have to play strategy to get back up here and battle with the 21 as we are coming through halfway point of stage number 3? Man, 2 hours and 15 minutes, Rick. We have been going strong and still having fun.
Zach leading the third night of the CluckClash by just 2 points. 2 points is the difference between Zach in first, Optic Goblin in the second position, not only on the track, but in the points, and Baritone Boss sitting third, who has now lagged out of the race. Baritone Boss ineligible to win the CluckClash. Ace Petty sitting third. He is 5 points behind the leader. He sits in third on the track, fourth in points, 5 points off the leader. It very much looks like it will be a question of whoever gets the best finish might just win this CluckClash. Zach leading stage 3 by a grand margin, but again, those pit stops are going to tell everything.
Pit stops are going to be the key. It's the be-all, end-all of the CluckClash. It was 2 points. And you said it best, 2 points, 2 measly points. Was that made up with Zachary having an issue in stage 2? It's such a great unknown. And maybe that was going through his mind when he sped down pit road, that he had to do something different. He had to go off sequence with the guys leading because he saw the Triple Crown falling away from him. He dominated Monaco. He had a dominant car last night, still ended up finishing P2, comes with a 2-point lead into Charlotte and has a mistake. He has rebounded from it. But now he finds himself leading the race and leading the CluckClash at the moment. He is leading the points. If my math is correct, which we have proven that our math is typically wrong, but he is finding his way to the front. The cream rises to the top, to quote the great Macho Man Randy Savage.
This is just going to be a night of the greatest references that ever lived. You started with Cole Trickle, now you go back to that. The cream rises to the top. And I keep going on digressions. You've got to stop making such fantastic references, or we're going to stop talking about this race altogether. I'll tell you what, this fight for third is heating up though. You've got Slide Job in third, Ace Petty in fourth, Bus Driver, the number 5 car, less than a second behind Ace Petty. Then Blitz sits in the 6th position, some 13 and a half seconds behind Ace Petty. There's actually the fight for 6th place. Blitz in 6th. There's Maverick Moose in 7th, and that's Infiltrator in 8th place. These 3 cars next to each other. But check this out. Speaking of Bus Driver, I really haven't seen him a lot near this top 5, and here he is. He's loose out of 2, but here he is fighting with the big boys in stage 3.
Yeah, and you see the great fuel savers. I mean, these two have been the fuel saving kings so far tonight. The 43-88 have done everything perfectly. They have put themselves in a position, whether it came of staying out longer than the rest, having a different strategy of the 30 lap pit stop versus the 25 lap pit stop. The 40 or the 88 coming down pit road lap 32. in lap 33. He stayed out further than the rest to try to take advantage of it. You see them battling side by side. Is this a gamesmanship being played between the two? Or is this just going, hey, I'm going to make you run out versus me running out?
Ace Petty, 43, following the 88 of Slide Job, third and fourth. There's the fifth place car, the blue and white number 5 of Bus Driver. 45 laps to go in this third stage. The setup man says if we're making Macho Man references, it looks like Zach decided to snap into a Slim Jim and take off. I hate all of you. No, I don't. I love all of you. I love all of you so much, man. This has been one of the most fun nights I can remember, honestly, probably since the last time I did Chickenfoot with Pete and Atlanta. We did Talladega, that amazing truck race at Talladega last Halloween, and now this. So 2 for 2 on the Chickenfoot races. Terry, we got to keep doing Chickenfoot because this has been a blast all weekend.
You're not telling me nothing I don't want to hear. Anytime that I get to do something with you, it makes me happy. 2, it makes my mom happy. You know, like I mentioned before on the iRacing side, when you wake up to a text from your mother that said, man, Rick James is my favorite broadcaster of all time and you're second, I'm like, well, I can't disagree with you. I have to agree. But the references are always great with you because you have such a great knowledge for history. You understand all the references that we throw out. And yes, he snapped into a Slim Jim. He has snapped into his own zip code up there in the lead. You know, without Night Sniper right there behind him. These guys are back here saving fuel. 88.43. I've been watching Inferno. He's been getting to the back of him. Here comes Bus Driver. He has inserted himself with all the fuel saving the 88 has done. The battle for this position has turned into a 3-way knockout, drag-out fight between the three.
It's a 3-way fight for third place. 88, 43, 5. Slide Job, Ace Petty, excuse me. I was about to call him the Oats King. Slide Job, Ace Petty, and the 5 of Bus Driver. Not as smooth as the other two, but he can still hang. And that's where Optic Goblin has been sitting, not only last night in Indianapolis, but he's put himself in that position tonight. Blitzkrieg running 6th right now with Maverick Moose behind him in the 7th position. There's your third place driver. Slide Job coming to 40 laps to go. Next time by, there's Zach leading, Optic Goblin in 2nd. Goblin winning last night at Indianapolis. He comes into this race just 2 points behind Zach, the race leader. And I think Zach did just come down pit road. Green flag pit stops start for the 2nd time in stage number 2.
Now it's a question on who stays out and how long they stay out. If Optic Goblin's able to run, I think you said there was about 39 laps to go here. If Goblin can stretch this about 3 more laps, potentially he will not have to make another one. And it looks like he's coming down right here. Now the question is, oh, he's not coming down. He's just slowing it. Maybe he is in fuel conservation mode. This is the real question. Setup man said it in the chat before, and we keep going with it, that this could be the opportunity that we have to go more and more on what they're going to do.
Goblin in the 55, still leading this race. Not a question of if, absolutely, but when. Here comes the 55, getting her woed up down pit road. He gets her slowed down just enough. The 21 of Zach not getting a penalty. There's the 5 of Bus Driver. What is he doing? Going through the grass on his way down pit road. Terry, is the 5 car out of fuel?
It looks like the 5 is out of fuel. He was awfully slow when he came in. Oh my goodness, tough break. If he did run out of fuel, that is a lot of precious seconds fell right here in just a small mistakes.
The 5 of Bus Driver now coming down pit road, losing all that time. We'll have to see when the stops cycle back around where he comes out. Infiltrator in the 28 coming out behind Blitz in the 70 car. There's Blitz out just ahead of Infiltrator. He was 6th before the pit stop cycles began. There's your race leader, Mr. Slidejob 1996, employing fantastic fuel strategy, but will it be enough to beat Zach, provided there's no pit stop penalties? The 88 ahead of the 43, and there's the 21 Zach hanging out in the shadows, just getting around Night Sniper in the 16 car. What a great stage 2 that Night Sniper had. Fresh tires now for the 21. Does he really need to chase down the 43 or the 88?
No, no, absolutely not. I think this is time for him to kind of just sit there. He just needs to relax. There's no sense in pushing it. He knows he's going to have to pit again. Yeah, what the 43 and 88 are doing is trying to minimize the pit stops, and they have done that to perfection so far. They've stayed on the track. They're doing what I just said, and basically going off of the stage two strategy that they had, pushing it as far as they have to make it one final stop in the stage and take the stage two or stage three win. I'm sorry, I lost track of where we were at.
Has been a long night, like you and I were saying before the show started, and actually during the show, as Zachary gets around Ace Petty in the 43 car. This is not for position. We were saying this is going to be the longest broadcast that you and I have done, you know, and it's been a thrill so far. Here's to the remaining half. Zachary in third place, but the 88 and the 43 have not pitted. Matter of fact, scratch that. The 43 does come down pit road. It's just the 88 of Slide Job that has yet to come down, but he's losing that time, and we'll have to see if it's worth the fuel that he's saving. The 16 of Night Sniper looking like he's actually pushing the 21. Night Sniper also a lap down in the 8th position, I believe, urging the 21 along as the leaders come down pit road. Now Zach has his lap back. There's Optic Goblin, who was second when the cycle started. There's Zach, who's got the 16 of Night Sniper well behind him. There's the 88 of Slide Job coming down pit road for his tires, his fuel. The 43 car up ahead, that white speck now exiting. There's the 21. He's looking to take the lead away from car 43.
And now I am very curious on what is left when they cross this line, because Ace is sitting here in the 4th place position, but the strategy game is coming into perfection. As I'm watching the 43 come around the track, I'm watching on his 64 laps of 97. This is the opportunity. This is going to put them right on the fuel mark. A couple laps they're going to have to save right there, but Slide Job came a lap later. As there is only 33 laps to go, Slide Job is in the catbird seat with 32 laps that he's going to be able to go on fuel. I think this is what is going to play dividends, as right now Slide Job, Optic Goblin, and Zachary are your top 3.
A small correction, if I may, Terry, the 21 of Zach is leading this race. Optic Goblin is second, 12 seconds adrift. One full straightaway. There's the 21 leading. There's the 55 in second place. Slide Job is third. Ace Petty is fourth. And nobody has enough fuel to go this distance unless Slide Job can save 4 to 5 laps of fuel in this stint. That would be quite the task. There's second place, Optic Goblin. There's third and fourth, Slide Job and Ace Petty. There's 5th place. I believe 5th place is Bus Driver, just coming out of that 4th corner. 31 laps now remain in this 3rd stage.
I think right now, if I'm the 88, he did it. He did it in stage number 2. He did exactly what he's doing right now. He followed the principle that he had there. I mean, he pitted 1 lap later than Ace did, and Ace came off pit road with 30 laps in the tank, coming to 33 to go. So I think that Slide Job is going to keep doing what he did, like we talked about earlier. He is saving. I mean, he is he is not going up to speed right here. And Ace is saving as well. He's clutching it into neutral, getting about 160 through the corners. They're doing everything they can to maximize every ounce of fuel in these tanks, trying not to pull the Dale Jr. of 2013.
A heartbreak that was for Dale Earnhardt Jr. running out of fuel in turns 3 and 4. Correct me if I'm wrong, Terry. I think it was Kevin Harvick that took the advantage, flying past the 88 and winning the Coca-Cola 600 that night on last lap fuel mileage.
Oh no, you are not wrong at all. The closer is when he got that is when he got the nickname. The closer is that race in the 600. Whistler, where did he come from? And tonight, could Slide Job play that role? The 21 has been dominant. The 16 has been dominant. Slide Job has been there when it counted. Can he pull it off again? Stage 3 is about 30 laps until it's over. Will that play dividends in stage number 4? The final stage is almost upon us. Can he do it one more time? We're only going to find out as he is clutching it through turns 3 and 4.
The 21 of Zach leading this race. Will he be able to save the necessary fuel? The 16 of Night Sniper pushing him along. But if these two intend on working together, Terry, it would seem to be more prudent that the 21 of Zach follow the 16 of Night Sniper, trying to save all the fuel he can.
Yes, I think right now that is what Night Sniper is doing. If he can't win it, he is going to push him to do it. This is a genius move for the 21 right now. I mean, the 16, his race is virtually over. He's going to get the free pass. He is the first car one lap down. If he stays behind the 21, helps his buddy out, a Chevy and a Ford working together is not a bad move. They are good buddies. They race in the Palmetto Leagues together. This is a friend helping a friend, and it could pay dividends for the 21 here tonight.
Fans, let's go ahead and refresh the poll from stage number 2. Last time around, 64% of the fans said Zach, and then he picked up a pit road speeding penalty. Occurs to the commentator may have kicked in, but let's go ahead and tempt fate one more time. Who will win stage number 3? We'll put the top 4 and then other. So we'll say Zach 7007. Optic Goblin, I believe, is running in the second position. There is the 55 car right there, Optic Goblin. Then you've got Mr. Slyjob 1996 running in third with Ace Petty, Terry, just miles behind in the fourth position with 24 laps to go.
And he is 3 laps to the bad in fuel. 3 laps is the difference between him making it to the end of this stage or not. Now, we go back to what we were just saying. Even though he is putting it in neutral, he is not burning the fuel that the leader is having to burn. Is him getting a push? Is the 16 of Night Sniper pushing the 21 of Zachary, making the difference? It could be huge if he is able to clutch it and get a push from him. But how long can this push continue? Now he's going to get a draft off of Inferno in front of him. This race is just getting tossed up in the air.
The setup man says Zach's only chance is to short pit and get 2 fresh tires and hope the fresh rubber gives him enough speed to run down Slide Job. And fans, if you haven't noticed, we have another poll running right now. Who will win stage number 3 is the question. Right now, Zach and Ace Petty tied for 50% of that vote. Your options are Zach, Optic Goblin, Mr. Slyjob, Ace Petty, or other. Let everybody know what you think. Vote in this poll. We'll get results in just under 10 minutes time. Zach still leading this race with the 16 of Night Sniper right behind him. There's Slyjob running second and Ace Petty 43, a grand distance behind, almost a full 15 seconds behind the third place driver, coming to 20 laps to go, Terry.
Oh man, 2 hours and 30 minutes into this stream, and we're just as fresh as ever, just as fresh as these drivers. I mean, these guys have been absolutely battling as Goblin gets into the wall a tad bit right there. Just a small little scrape, but he's saving as much as he can as well. You want to try to do what Slide Job and Ace Petty are doing, and that's not burning as much fuel as possible. And I know this sounds like, oh man, they're making it sound easy. No, absolutely not. This is not an easy task because you start to get tired. Fatigue is setting in. At some point in time, their foot's going to get tired. Their legs are going to start falling asleep. I'm not going to say it, but I have a squirrel bladder. Somebody's going to have to pee. You know, you're going 600 miles, caution free. You get like a 10-second break in between, and the focus that they have to not make the mistake is huge. And setup man's calling it. He said Slide Job's going to take him to school and win stage 3. The fuel mileage game is a lot of math. Obviously, me and Rick have proved we're not the mathematicians. I would have ran out of fuel by now.
Mr. Slide Job coming into this race with 20 points. If he does get the win tonight, that gives him 40 points, which is only 2 more than Zachary 7007. All these points are going to shake out in quite an interesting way. There's Night Sniper still pushing that 21 here. Mathematically speaking, it would be almost impossible for Mr. Slyjob to get the Triple Crown with a race win tonight. But Ace Petty is only 5 points behind Zachary at the front of this one. The way these points are awarded, it's 20 to the winner, 18 for second, 17, 16, and 15 points for third, fourth, and fifth. Sixth on back get 10 points for their total. Even with a win from Mr. Slyjob, a 6th place would be enough for Zach to get those necessary points. Optic Goblin, however, is only 2 points behind. Optic, who's sitting in the 2nd position as green flag pit stops are starting to get underway here. All he needs to do is finish ahead of the 21. So much still in the air with 116 laps remaining in this race.
Much in the air for these drivers and so much in the air for Zachary. Is the fuel mileage game going to pay out? Is somebody going to save? What is going to happen? How is the stage 3 going to shake out? The best track position possible is up front, exactly where Zachary is. And Setup Man might have it in the bank. He has such a lead. If he goes down and takes 2 right sides, if he just comes in and takes a half a can of gas when it is time and he starts to sputter, he might still come out and have a chance to pass Slyjob. It just all depends on, does he need to come down, or is he saving it right now with the 16 of Night pushing him?
Zach leading, but with pit stops still imminent. Now Ace Petty in neutral mode, clutching it, putting the car into neutral through the corners and saving as much fuel. The leaders are in. The 6th, the 21, and the 16 a lap down. Following these leaders, there is Optic Goblin, who's now taken the lead from car 21. He now runs away with this one at Charlotte inside the final 20 laps. Ace Petty, by our looks, he's showing another 13 laps of fuel remaining. Fans at home, if you want to follow along with Ace Petty in the 43 car like Terry and I are doing, there's the link, twitch.tv/Seafoot Racing. Optic Goblin looks like he might take this time to come down pit road, but no, he stays out. Lucky number 13 laps remaining. Now a dozen circuits to go for the 55 of Optic Goblin. He's now putting the 21 of Zach a lap down. And last night's Indianapolis winner, if the race ends now, he is the CluckClash Triple Crown winner. But we're not even done with stage number 3. Terry, the 55, has certainly been saving.
He's going to have to be it. I clicked over here just like when you were talking about going to watch Chicken Foot. Every single lap he goes around this racetrack, a different point takes off a lap of fuel. Last lap he came by, it changed going into 1. This lap it changed coming off of 2. All around, I mean, he still has 11 laps to go. I know if he is going to be good on fuel, because if he continues to do that, if my math is correct, if he does it for 5 more laps, it is going to change at the start-finish line. So if he coasts for just an extra second, that's going to get him to the finish. And if he's good on fuel, Optic Goblin's been saving just about the same. When is go mode for the 55? I would think with 3 laps to go, as it looks like he might be signaling to come down pit road right here, or he might just be taking the shortest way around the track, but this would hand the lead to Slyjob. Can Slyjob and Ace Petty continue the strategy? 55 is in, Rick.
55 of Optic Goblin comes down into pit road, brings it down to 45 miles an hour. Mr. Slyjob, 1996, down the back straight, about to inherit the lead inside the final 10 laps. 88 car through turn 4, slowing down but not coming down pit road. There's the 55 still traveling. Here's the 88 around him. Slyjob, now your new leader with 10 laps to go in stage number 3. 9 laps to go.
9 laps, and Ace Petty is 9 on the 9. Slyjob has been saving the exact same amount as him. Tires don't seem to be an issue on Ace Petty, nor do they look to be an issue on Mr. Slyjob as well. These two have played it perfectly. Going down the back straightaway, it's on 9 laps. They're coming to 8. It still not has changed from 9 as he comes across the line to 8 at a turn 4. He just now changed. I think this is it. I think these are the top two. It is going to be Slide Job and Ace Petty, unless Slide Job wasn't doing what we thought.
The fuel strategy coming to fruition yet again with 8 laps to go. The poll in the chat with just a couple minutes to go asks who will win stage number 3. Mr. Slide Job currently with 0% of the vote, leading this race by at least 7 seconds over Ace Petty 43, who now crosses the line to get 7 laps to go in this race. This third stage really waking up a lot of drivers. They're going to have to kick in something special if they intend on beating this 88 car in the final stanza of racing.
It's going to have to listen to what Slide Job is doing or pay closer attention to when he comes down pit road. I know it might not be what they might have debriefed with themselves or with their friend last night when it came down to what their strategy would be in a 600-mile race, but Slide Job has figured it out. Ace Petty has figured it out. The top two on the racetrack right now have a strategy that is much different than the rest of the field. People are making an extra pit stop when they don't need to. We're coming down to 7 laps to go, Rick. I think the cat's out of the bag. Slide Job is going to try to win this on fuel mileage.
Cat's out of the bag, but now you got to try and catch it. 6 laps to go in this race. The 88 car still leading, and it's his stage now to lose. Fans, a reminder, we'll take our final 30-second break of the evening at the end of stage number 3 before we kick off stage 4, and it was actually 5 to go, so it will be 4 laps remaining in stage 2 this time around. And if you've recently joined us, I'm Rick James, joined by my partner in crime, Terry Radford, sitting next to me in the booth. You're watching night number 3 of the CluckClash, brought to you by DI9 Designs. 600 miles. And you know what I love, Terry, is that this is the 3rd race we're running, and it covers half of the mileage that we've run all weekend long. About 180 miles at Monaco, 500 miles at Indianapolis, and then these 600 miles right here. And the 3rd stage, it's about to end, and the money stage that counts is about to start stage number 4.
You know, right now we quoted Macho Man Randy Savage, and what's Macho Man Randy Savage without the other half of the mega powers? Slide Job is saying, what you gonna do, brother, when the 88 and the 43 run wild on you? Well, they're running wild right now. Fuel mileage is running at a premium, and they are doing a fantastic job in these Chevrolets up front, 1 and 2.
I don't know a thing about wrestling, but there's no way anybody doesn't know that that's Hulk Hogan.
Thank you.
I don't know a thing about wrestling, but I do know when I hear a Hulk Hogan and a Macho Man line. The 21 of Zach, with big help from Night Sniper, not able to pull off another stage win. White flag will come out in stage number 3 next time around. Ace Petty sitting 2nd. Here's Zach in the 3rd position. He can see the 43 of Ace Petty just sailing into turn number 3. There's Slide Job getting the white flag in this 3rd stage.
White flag is out for the 88 right here, and he has played it brilliantly. Ace Petty did as well. He actually had an extra lap of fuel than he thought he was going to have. He saved too much. Is it better to finish 2nd and know that you saved that extra lap, or to know that, dang, I had an extra lap to go hard as Slide Job comes off of turns 3 and 4? Stage 3 winner, Slide Job.
Slide Job getting that win in stage number 3. Ace Petty 43 coming to a dignified 2nd place finish. Zach will finish 3rd. Fans at home, 30-second break brought to you by DI9 Designs, and we'll be back for the 4th and final stage in the CluckClash Triple Crown. 43 of Ace Petty starting to the inside of Slide Job to kick off the final stanza of racing. Green flag is out, and we are racing in the Charlotte Motor Speedway one more time.
Final stage is into the books so far as we've taken the green. Rick, we said famous movie quotes all the way through this stream. This is the money stop. This is if you're not first, you're last, to quote the phenomenal Ricky Bobby.
Well, if you don't have an internet connection, you can't race, and it looks like these drivers getting out of sorts. The 88 of Slide Job pushing the 43 high, but now we realize as the 21 is underneath him, blocking the 21, getting out of sorts, the 21 making it 3 wide. There's Zach trying to hold on to that club car forward, and the 21 almost pushed below the yellow line on the opening lap of stage number 4. Everybody makes it through mostly unharmed. Look at them funnel out down the back straight.
Yeah, and they know they have to block the 21. If he gets out front, it could be game over. They could be spelling the end of this if the fuel strategy doesn't keep working in the path of the 88 and the 43. 21's been the fastest guy so far, but here comes the 9. The Mr. Where did he come from? In the number 9 Napa Chevrolet finds himself in P number 4. This could be the game changer. Can he stay with the top 4, or is it going to be another dominating performance by the 2 Chevys and the Ford?
The 9 of Maverick Moose sitting in that 4th position. There's the 53 of Jump in the Fire being overtaken by the 55 of Optic Goblin. And I have lost the connection on my controller. That's rather embarrassing. I got to switch these batteries out. Terry, give us a little bit of color commentary.
Yeah, as it looks to me right now, here comes the 21 on the inside of the 43. 21's going to get a great run off of the exit of turns 1 and 2. Here comes Optic Goblin to the 55. He's going to take that run with the 43 as well. The slight draft that they got off of Mr. Slide Job is not going to be good enough, as now put the 43 back to 4th. 1, 2, and 3 are all on top of one another, with Ace Petty trying to get the draft, but they're going to break it all down the front straightaway coming into turns 1 and 2. 88's going to lead. Here comes the 21 and the 55 of Optic Goblin. 21 gets to the back bumper of the 88. They make slight contact with one another. Here we go to the outside.
21 on the outside of car 88 now getting to his back bumper and letting off in the 3rd corner. This is Uncle Rick reminding you, don't buy off-brand batteries if you're going to do a 4-hour broadcast. 21 to the inside of the 88. Slide Job hitting the wall out of 4. A push from Optic Goblin. Zach, new leader into 1, Terry.
Yeah, Zach takes this lead. I almost choked. You made me laugh so hard I choked on my raised energy. It has kept me focused this entire race. 21 of Zachary takes the lead again. Optic Goblin sees the CluckClash finish and the championship in front of him. All he has to do is get around the fastest car of the night in the 21.
21, 55, 88, top 3 coming out of 4. Contact between the 70 of Blitz and the 53 of Fire. Out of that 4th corner, Ford, Chevrolet, your top 3 with fewer than 90 laps remaining in the Triple Crown weekend. 91 to be exact, 9-0 to go next time at the line.
1-0 to go, and we still have great energy. 2 hours and 50 minutes into a stream. It is incredible the racing we have seen here tonight and Friday and Saturday. Closing it here, last 100 laps underway. 21 takes the presumptive lead as Optic Goblin is sitting there in 2nd. Is the fuel saving time already on for the 88 and 43? That's the keys to this race. Who wins it? Is it on speed? Is it on fuel mileage? Or is it because of pure carnage? We can only find out one way, and that's staying right here on Rick James TV.
88 and the 43 are into fuel-saving mode. I just saw the 43 go into neutral. Fans at home, if you want to follow along with the 43 of Ace Petty right here, twitch.tv/Seafoot Racing. You can see how he saves that fuel, shifting into neutral, going into the corners, using less brake, less fuel. That's what's kept the 88 and the 43 out ahead of the competition at the end of stage 2 and stage 3. Slide Job winning the 2nd and the 3rd stage, looking to do the same. Puts a heavy bumper to the back of Optic Goblin out of 4. Ford Chevy coming to the line, Terry.
Ford Chevy leading this train around the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Everybody taking the lower line, clipping the grass just ever so slightly, trying to figure out a way. How can you save a precious tenth, an ounce of fuel around this racetrack? Optic Goblin wants the lead. He was challenging for a second. He puts himself right back behind the 21, catching the precious draft that we so desperately want to get to save every bit that he can. 21 still leads this race. He has been the dominator so far.
89 laps to go in this race. Less than that, actually. My math is well off because I'm not paying attention. 87 laps to go in this race. 87.43, third and fourth. Ace Petty going a bit high, getting some clean air. The 88 washing high and giving the 43 a tow down the back straight. Fuel strategy has been the name of the game all night long. Will it be the same for the third consecutive stage? There is the 55 of Optic Goblin out of 4, following the 21 of Zach. This time, 315 laps underway of the scheduled 400. The 88 car has closed the gap to the top 2, Terry.
He is there. He is right there. But we look at what Ace Petty's been doing ever since the drop of the green flag, putting it in neutral. How far can he get away? We've seen him finish bridesmaid twice in these, or 3 times. He has finished second in every stage so far. Is stage number 4 going to be the time that Cinderella's shoe fits for him? Will he no longer be a bridesmaid? Will he be a bride at the end of this race? It could be the difference of finishing second in the CluckClash Triple Crown or winning the whole dang show. We're going to find out in 80-something laps.
85 to go at the line. 316 laps underway, and if you've just joined us, I'm Rick James, joined by Terry Radford, bringing you the final 85 laps of the 2021 CluckClash, the Triple Crown. Monaco, Indianapolis, Charlotte, and here we are in the final act of the weekend. 84 laps remain. Zach leading Optic Goblin in second, Slide Job third, and Ace Petty fourth. There you see the top 4 running nose to tail. There's the 43 of Ace Petty, who was fantastic at saving fuel, Terry, but the 88 of Slide Job has him licked every single time when it comes to fuel strategy.
Yeah, I think that 43 has been saving a little bit sooner than the 88. Maybe he decided to save just a tad bit sooner now because he has been second every single time off of fuel mileage. Can he go up and save just enough that he doesn't have to? 88-55 made contact out of the back straightaway.
55 slams the wall out of 2. 88 down to the inside and brushing along. They trade that paint. 55 gives them a show of the chrome horn and stamps that blue oval to the back of the bow tie on the rear end of the 88. Coming across the line, drivers now have 82 laps to go in this race. Optic Goblin bouncing off that blue line, now holding up the 43 of Ace Petty. Ford, Chevy, Ford out of the second corner, down the back.
And this is getting so exciting. This is the final set of this race, and I hate to see it go because this has been such incredible racing over the past 3 nights. 88, 55 made the contact there. 55 drops back to P number 2. 88 is not saving like the 43 is. Is this a strategic move for the 43 to put himself ahead of the 40 or the 88 and the 55 and the 21 to potentially set him up for no final pit stop? Man, this is just wild. My math skills are just terrible.
You and I, as far as math skills are concerned, you and I together could probably pass, like, let's say, a remedial college class in math. So we're not great at this mileage stuff. Thank goodness for actual calculators. 21, though, leading. And look who's taken second by force, Terry. The 55 of Optic Goblin just cruising around the 88 car. And it looks like the gap has been closed back up by the 43 of Ace Petty. The top 4 separated by less than half a second. Only 5 cars on the lead lap. Blitz in 5th. Maverick Moose sitting 6th right behind them.
They're going to end up calling us by the end of the CluckClash, the Horse Brothers, as we're probably going to lose our voice for our Monday night shows tomorrow night, but it's well worth it because every one of these drivers are putting it all on the line to be the Triple Crown champions. 3 nights, 3 different tracks, 3 different games, and it all comes down to the final 100 laps here in stage number 4 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. If you're out there in the chat, share this with your mother, your uncle, your sister, your stepsisters, your entire family. Get them in here. This is where it all comes down. Who wins the championship? 21 has the lead. 55's hunting him down.
Now out of the fourth corner, 21 still leading this race, but pit strategy will be a factor. They're still going to have to come down pit road. They're still going to have to make adjustments, and they will still have to respect the penalties that can occur. At this stage in the race, Terry, those penalties are fatal.
Yeah, we saw the 21 make the mistake earlier in the race. Is he going to make it again? I hate to put the commentator curse, but you have to be realistic. If you make the mistake once, if you did not learn from it, he's going to have to be a little slower on pit road, and that could potentially lose him a little bit more time as all top 4 cars are right on top of one another. Blitz in the 5th place position is not in the battle for the lead right now. As you just see the top 4, the lead lap cars are almost touching one another as they come around the racetrack. 55 saving a tad bit more fuel as he backs off and catches the draft. 43 still back there clutching it.
Optic Goblin sitting in second, now evenly spread apart, Terry. You could say that they're comfortably in their fuel mileage runs now, knowing that pit stops are on the horizon.
Yeah, they're very comfortable right here. But if I'm one of the top 3, if I'm the top 2 actually, if I'm the top 2 cars right now at this very moment, I'm paying attention to what the 43 and 88 has been doing to them. 2 stages in a row, they've been beat on fuel mileage. They don't want that to happen again. They're going to have to stretch it. They're going to have to do exactly what the other 2 behind them have done. They have done it so perfectly, and they've been able to keep pace. As the 55-88 make contact again, no love lost between these 2 as the battle continues for second, side by side down the front straightaway.
Slide job to the inside of Optic Goblin, 88-55, Chevy Ford, CorvetteParts.net versus the Miller Ford on the outside. 21, 88, 55, 43, top 4. Now Optic Goblin back to the inside of Slide job, and he's got second out of 2.
Yeah. They have been battling side by side this entire stage, and they will not stop until the other one is done. 55 goes high. He goes way high out of the groove. Put Slide job back to P number 2, and Ace Petty's going for 3rd.
Sebastian the Cat says hello as the 55 of Optic Goblin now slowing down the 43 of Ace Petty. Slide job in that 88 car has a bit of a gap to the 55, but headed down the back. The lead once again expanding for Zachary into 3, Terry.
Zachary loves seeing what he's seeing. He loves seeing the 55 and the 88 both. Pardon me, I'm losing my voice. He's seeing the 88 and the 55 go side by side, swapping P number 2. It is a beneficial game for the 21. He can just cruise away with the lead, but how much fuel is he able to save? What is he doing different other than having raw speed in the final stage?
We've seen that Slide job and Ace Petty using that clutch on their shifting rigs to maximize the mileage. The setup man says if you don't have a clutch and can't match the fuel mileage, you have to go the opposite direction and short pit every time and get 4 fresh tires earlier than everybody else. Someone should get on the horn to Zach and tell him this if he wants to have a chance of beating the 88.
Yeah, they're going to have to. It looks like Optic Goblin is deciding to come down pit road right there as he gives the universal signal on NASCAR Heat 5 that he is coming down. It's a bit of a different move. And here comes the 21 as well. Top 2 cars, 55 goes around. He misses pit road.
The 55 has missed pit road. The 21 looked like he came in awfully fast. There's the 43 of Ace Petty sitting in the 2nd position now. Slide job leading in that 88 car back to that lead driver. There is Slide job. Will this hand them the race, or is it still a competition from here? We need to wait until their pit stop cycle fully cycles through.
We're going to have to see. I'm sitting on board right now with Zachary, and this is a long time on pit road. I think he might have spent it, and now he's exiting. Slide jobs on the front straightaway. He is going to put him a lap right here. Man, if that was super close, and that is a long gap between him and the 88.
Slide job in the 3rd position. Ace Petty in the 2nd position. These drivers in fuel conservation mode all night long, and they have about another 3 to 4 laps of mileage before they all need to come in. Next time by, drivers will have 67 laps to go.
And the fuel-saving game that these two have played have been phenomenal. I mean, I didn't go to college. I barely graduated high school, and I know right now that the fact that they're having to save this much fuel and they are this worried about it this far into the race shows me that they have learned consistently. They have paid attention to everything that has happened. They watched the first stage go away, but then Slide Job learned from Ace Petty. And then Ace Petty learned from Slide Job and how he did it with eliminating a pit stop. It has been phenomenal to watch them over 500 miles so far through this race.
Fans at home are going to put a poll in the chat for you all. Who will win stage number 4 between Zach 7007, Optic Goblin, Mr. Slide Job 1996, or Ace Petty 43, or possibly other? 10 minutes now. There you see the poll at the top of your chat. Who will win stage number 4? Slide Job, Ace Petty, Optic Goblin, the 21 of Zach, or other?
I think my money's going to have to be on Slide Job. We've seen him throughout the race, through the 2 stages. He has been up front with it, and now he's coming down pit road, and it looks to me as if Ace Petty's going to come with him. They're on the exact same pit strategy. It's longer than the others. 3 hours into this race, and they are still this concerned and this intuitive of what is going on around them. It speaks dividends, and it speaks incredible volumes on how knowledgeable these drivers are, especially in such a long endurance race.
An endurance race indeed. We're going to finish just over 3.5 hours into this event, and the 600, obviously, an endurance race by NASCAR terms, but NASCAR race is usually an endurance race. And racing sim or not, Terry, this has got to be mentally demanding, and obviously we don't know the physical toll that it takes to be a genuine race car driver, but as far as these guys are experienced, a couple of drivers in this field, pro leaguers, it is a physically and mostly mentally demanding task to focus like this for 3.5 hours.
I mean, just sitting here having to focus to call the race, having to look around, make sure everything is good, keeping up with the fuel mileage, crunching numbers, doing everything that we're doing here, bringing the excitement to the fans at home. It's hard to keep people's attention spans for 10 minutes, much less for 3.5 hours, 64 laps remaining on the track. And I mean, we're still as fresh as ever. The fuel mileage game is huge. 28 laps remaining on for fuel for Ace Petty and Slide Job right here, but their clutch game still comes into effect. They are clutching it as the 21 retakes this lead.
The 21 of Zach back in that lead position, this time by drivers now with 63 circuits to go in the CluckClash. Zachary still in prime position to win the Triple Crown at the end of the evening. A little more than half the time remaining in the poll. Question, who will win stage number 4? Your options between Zach, Optic Goblin, Slide Job, Ace Petty, or other. Right now, Mr. Slide Job with 50% of the vote. There is your current race leader in the 21 car, coming to 61 circuits remaining, Zachary 7007.
I don't have any throat lozenges and I might be losing my voice. I am eating, I don't know. It's Korean candy, but it is chocolate. I think it might be chocolate. I can't read Korean. So if anybody out there knows Korean and can tell me what these little candies are, I would appreciate it greatly. Sitting here chewing on this candy, watching Zachary 7007 have this lead. And Rick, he has stepped away with the lead. He just doesn't have it by a small margin. He has it by a ton.
How did you live for over a year in Korea serving for the Army when you didn't even learn? Like, how did you do that and not learn Korean, dude?
Google Translate, my friend. It was fantastic. We had these things called Katusas. They are a part of the ROK Army. They come down, they attach themselves to the United States soldiers. They walk you around. I tried all sorts of amazing things. Rice wine, soju, candy, dog, cat, you name it, had no clue what I was eating, what I was drinking. They just told me after the fact.
Right, well, slide job ahead of Maverick Moose in that 9 car. Blitz, the last car on the lead lap. He restarted stage number 4 in 5th place. He looks like he's about to lose that lead lap status. The 21 of Zach has already passed him, but look at this sensational lead here. Zach sitting in that first spot. There's Optic Goblin in second. Actually, Optic Goblin running 4th, I believe. No idea who's in second. That could be Slide Job up ahead in the second position with Maverick Moose right behind him. There's 10.5 seconds between the between the leader, Zach, and 5th place, Ace Petty.
88 is saving a ton of fuel. He is doing everything possible. He just let Maverick Moose by. I mean, he passed him like he was sitting still on the racetrack. Slide Job's doing what he has to do to catch the draft. He's staying behind these 2 cars, one of them being a lap down machine and the other one being Maverick Moose in the 2nd place position now, as he's just riding. He's there. He's doing what he has to do. The 9 of Maverick pitted 1 lap sooner than the guys behind him, which also gave him an opportunity to come up and be front. So the fuel strategy, the numbers that are being crunched are well above our pay grade. We're just broadcasters, but the race itself is going phenomenal for the 21, but can he stay out longer than the 2 behind him?
Slide Job in that 88 car now following Maverick Moose for a bit. Maverick Moose getting around jump in the fire. There's Zach in turn number 1. There's Slide Job here running in that 3rd position. Optic Goblin currently running 4th. Ace Petty right behind him holding down the 5th spot, coming to 55 laps to go next time by. Big shout out to Yotes King, Baritone Boss, who weren't able to finish this run tonight. A couple other drivers not able to finish tonight. Bus driver stopped, not out of this race, Terry, but motionless, now on the inside of turn number 2. Rather peculiar for that number 5 car. The number 3 of K-Hawk couldn't make it. T2 Infiltrator still running. Vlad Poultry, who got a top 10 at Monaco, not able to finish this one. Blitz running 6th ahead of Maverick Moose in that 9 car. Slide Job giving us a great show tonight. Of course, Zachary leading this race. Katarina in the chat says Maverick Moose. He's running with that 88 of Slide Job, just ahead, actually, coming out of the 4th corner. Terry,
I think the 5 is getting ice cream.
Ice cream?
Yeah, you know, when the guys come down for their final pit stop, I hope their crew chief is telling them we put 4 thicker tires that all match. You can get him on the high side, Cole. You can pass him on the high side, but just stay out there on the track. We're going to put our feet up and get us an ice cream bar.
Something hit the pace car. I have no idea, but that has to be one of the funniest scenes in that movie. You know, I absolutely love, I think it was the 94, the 95 season that they actually had, they filmed a couple of races at Phoenix. I think Greg Sachs might have been driving the City Chevrolet around Phoenix when they filmed that race. Just a great way that they made that entire movie. The setup man in the chat says, I don't know if Zach is going to win, but the short pit strategy is his only chance coming to the final 50 laps to go, Terry. It really is his only chance, provided that the 88 and the 43 don't get pit stop penalties.
Yeah, I cannot agree more with him. I mean, the setup man has been absolutely spot on this entire time. The short pit strategy, if he comes down, he's going to have to take 4. He's not going to be able to stay out 20 more laps. We know that. He's not going to get in that exact fuel window. But if he was to just back it down right now, he's going to have a better shot. He has the 16 right behind him again, pushing him around this racetrack. If he's able to hold it as much as he can, that's going to be his only opportunity other than the short pitting.
The 28 of T2 Infiltrator valiantly finishing his race as best he can. There's Blitz struggling to stay in the top 5 now with 50 laps to go in this race. Mr. Slide Job, he's certainly in conservation mode, comfortably following the 9 car. of Maverick Moose up ahead, the lone Canadian who's done a fantastic job this entire weekend. And your race leader, Zachary 7007, with his good buddy, Night Sniper, right behind him. Night, who had such an awesome chance to win in stage number 2, came so close, but yet now so far away. Inside the final 50, Terry, and it looks like strategy will still win this show, but so much could still happen.
So much could happen indeed. You could see a mistake. You could see somebody get over aggressive. The race is not over. We tried to call the race last night as if it could have been over with Baritone Boss leading it. But on the final pit stop, coming off of pit road was a block. The block was thrown. The block cost them the race. It gave it to Optic. Optic goes off, takes the checkered flag, and you come into the night, and we all thought, we put our money down and said the 21. 21 from the jump. He drove away from the field. And as the night progressed, one mistake threw him off sequence. One mistake could have been the factor between him having to short pit it to get back up to the front and costing him a win, as now he is down pit road with his buddy in the 16.
The 21 of Zachary down pit road. He's got Night Sniper behind him. Here comes Optic Goblin, who's running in the 4th position. The fans have spoken, and with 38% of the vote, they say Mr. Slidejob is going to win the 4th stage and this race. Goblin way loose into 1. No idea what he's thinking. The 43 of Ace Petty having to check up hard and go to the outside, but still not overtaking car number 55. Now we have to see where the 88 will end up, because Slidejob has had the ace in the hole all race long with that incredible fuel strategy, despite the fact that he is some grand distance behind the 21 in terms of race position on the race track. The 21 of Zach now to the inside and behind Night Sniper. If it is fuel mileage, Terry, that Zach needs to use to win this race, he's going to have to follow the 16 of Night Sniper.
Yes, he is, and I don't know if you're a big George Strait fan, but the moment you said ace in the hole, his great number 1 hit came right into my head. He will need a ace in the hole, and the 88 has had that ace all night long when it comes to the clutch. The clutch is such a huge momentum shift here at these racetracks of just being able to float the bottom, not touch the brake. Most people think, oh, if you hit the brake, if you just ride it just a tad bit, it will just help you save so much fuel. No, it is totally opposite. You will burn more by having to slow the car all the way down naturally than just going as hard as you can. And it makes you burn more off the exit of the corner. With the clutch, it helps you just slow the car down and just stop the motor. Just stops the motor completely. Nothing gets burnt. And it has shown Ace Petty 3 extra laps at the end of the run. They're closer this time, Rick. They're closer. They're a half a straightaway back. This might be the chance. And if Ace Petty outpits the 88, it could be the change for the lead.
Running 4th right now. Optic Goblin in 3rd. Ace Petty in the 4th position. I believe Slidejob currently leading this race. There's the 88 car right there traveling behind the 53 car of Jump in the Fire. Now out of this second corner, the 88 car, I believe, is either second to Maverick Moose or leading this competition. He's got Fire Blitz in the 70 and Maverick Moose up ahead in car number 9. There's Blitz in the 70 car just behind them here. Coming to the final 40 laps to go. 359 circuits now underway in Charlotte.
Looks as Moosey Poo has the lead right now. Oh, Maverick Moose riding in front of Blitz. This could be it. If he's able to go the same strategy as Slidejob and Ace Petty, as he gets a big shot from the 70, goes up the racetrack, it looks like, oh no, I thought he was going to pit. He slowed down so much in front of the 70.
He's not leading the race. Maverick Moose is not leading this race. It's either the 70 or the 53 of Blitz or Jump in the Fire. Slidejob currently sits second. Maverick Moose is actually in the 5th position. I have no idea who's leading this race. And again, as you said in stage 1, we're just spoiled because we have instruments in other in other racing games like Forza and Formula One that tells us the leader, but with the help of Ace Petty 43 streaming on this link right here in the chat, we know that Ace Petty sits third, and the leader is exiting now, or just exited turn number 2. It's one of these two cars here, either the 53 or the 70. Now to the inside of the 88 car, contact with Slide Job, jump in the fire, gets to the inside there. Now the 70 of Blitz comes down pit road, and now Slide Job is the new leader.
Thank you, 704, for the amazing stuff that we Ace Petty is sitting P number 2, and we're coming to the point here in this race where there is 39 laps to go, 6 laps remaining on fuel, and there can get to the point to where if Ace Petty is able to save along with Slide Job 2 laps, they're good to the end.
Slide Job to the inside. He's got the 21 just ahead, the 16 behind him. Slide Job leading this race, but still having to come down pit road. The 21 sitting in second, the 16 car, or I'm sorry, the 21 is not sitting in second. The 16 car just behind him. 4 seconds is the gap between first and second place. Slide Job leading, Ace Petty in the second position. 364 laps now underway at Charlotte. 36 to go. Next time by, and the magic number that everyone is looking for is 30. If Slide Job and Petty can come in with 30 laps or fewer remaining, they'll be good to go to the end of the race.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now, and Ace is doing what he's been doing the entire race so far, clutching it in turns, the corners. He's coming down. I'll get a lap. What's left when he comes? He has 4 laps remaining on fuel. They're coming to 36 to go, so he should be pitting with 32 laps remaining. He would only have to save exactly what he had to save in what he had to save in stage 2 and 3, and Ace Petty has done it. He was provided the strategy that he had up front, and it is fantastic to see the fact that Ace Petty and Slide Job's fuel strategy is going off without a hitch. We know that Zachary is going to have to make one more pit stop. The difference is, are the 88 and 43 going to make a mistake on pit road or not?
There's Zachary in the 21 pulling away from Slide Job in the 88 down the back straight. These drivers about to come down pit road, get their tires, get their fuel. Slide Job in the 88 CorvetteParts.net Chevrolet. He's going to take one more lap around. 366 laps now underway at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. The fuel light comes on for car 43. It's time to make those adjustments. 34 laps remain in the CluckClash Triple Crown weekend. C. LaJoy 7 says hi. Phenomenal says hi as well. How are you guys? Glad to have you here for this final stint of racing. And Terry, the 88 car of Slide Job, now coming down pit road, getting it woed down to 45 miles an hour. He'll slow his hot rod. The 43 of Ace Petty follows him in, and there will be 33 laps to go this time by. Using the clutch on their rig setups, they should be good to go from here.
And that is crushing if you are the 21. He has ran a phenomenal race, and without any mistake, it looks to me that the 43 and 88 are going to be the top 2, unless something happens on the racetrack, as now you see that the 21 has moved himself back around to get a lap back. Can he get out front enough to potentially spoil the party? Can he say, I'm faster than you, I don't care about your fuel mileage, I'm the fastest car on the racetrack?
Optic Goblin in the 55, he's running just ahead of the 53 of Jump in the Fire. The orange spec coming in the background is Mr. Slide Job 1996. There's Ace Petty in the 43 car. He leaves pit road running 5th. Down that back on the top line, getting back up to speed under the video board and sailing into turn number 3. Maverick Moose in the 9 car. He's running ahead of the 70 of Blitz. Night Sniper in the 16, once again pushing the 21 of Zach, but if this race comes to fuel mileage, they're going to have to work at it. Optic Goblin sitting third, Slide Job fourth, Ace Petty fifth, Maverick Moose sixth, Jump in the Fire running in the 7th position with fewer than 30 laps remaining.
Man, this race almost went by in a blur. I can't believe it's been 3 hours and 18 minutes so far. But this is 600 miles, and it's coming down to who can save what. Can Zachary save the fuel? Is he going to be perfect? I mean, he has ran a very great race so far. And if he can get up there, he could be great.
Jump in the Fire 88 just ahead. There's the 5 of Bus Driver, still motionless on the inside, still on his ice cream break most likely. The 70 of Blitz behind the 9 of Maverick Moose chasing him down. There's Slide Job. Once again, he finds himself in the 4th position. Optic Goblin in 3rd, so that by association puts Zachary back in the lead of this race with fewer than 30 to go. The 21 Club Car Mustang just ahead with big help from the number 16 Gatorade Chevy of Night Sniper pushing him along. And I genuinely do think that may have been his mama, the gamer tag Night Sniper's mom in the chat cheering him on. So friends of Night Sniper, whoever that might be, cheering him on in this one. But it's been such a wonderful celebration of racing so far, Terry. Out of this final corner now, this 21 car coming to what could potentially be the Triple Crown win. Despite the fuel mileage that could hand the win to the 88 car, a 3rd place finish with the 43 finishing in 2nd place would still hand the crown to Zachary 7007 unofficially. Obviously, we have so much to tabulate here, but coming to 27 laps to go in this 1,200-mile Triple Crown weekend, the crown is still up for grabs.
In fact, it's still up for grabs. If Zachary's able to finish in the 3rd place position, I mean, I'm not a mathematician. My stats are not that great, but he has not finished outside the top 3 in any race over the past 3 nights. It is an incredible feat that he's been able to go from one game to the next and still have the great physics that he has had. Zachary has provided a boost of energy to everybody here. Everybody has had to step up their game, had to try different avenues of approach to get to him. And now that he leads this race knowing that he has one more pit stop to go, can we go all the way? Can he save enough fuel? The questions are crazy. What is he going to have to do to cap off a phenomenal race that he has had so far? Or is it going to fall right into Slide Job's hands?
25 to go this time by as Zachary crosses the line. The number 21 Club Car Mustang just ahead of Night Sniper in the number 16 Gatorade Chevrolet, and they've reached the final quarter of this race, and the 53 of Jump in the Fire slams the wall. Optic Goblin to the inside of that 53 car, now tearing down this front straight. Drivers starting to lose a bit of focus, Terry. It's been a long weekend, it's been a long race. 600 miles is no joke, and here they are still trying everything with 24 laps to go.
Man, we talked the math, we've talked all the fuel mileage, we've talked the strategy on the track, the plays that they've had with one another, the strategic mind games that every single driver has had to play. We've seen great lead changes, we've seen battles for first, we've seen battles all over the racetrack, and it all comes down to who does not pit or who has to pit, and if a mistake is made. Here comes the 21, final pit stop's underway, he woes it down, no penalty for him this time. Last pit stop, 88's going to, or I'm sorry, I think Maverick's, who's going to take the lead?
55 of Optic Goblin now looking to the outside of Maverick Moose. I don't believe it is Maverick Moose that will be the leader. I know so far that Blitz is sitting in the 3rd position. Hello, back to you, Corey LaJoy. I hope you're enjoying this race, Corey. I'm Rick James, joined by Terry Radford by my side. Terry, I'm trying to do the mental math here with 22 laps to go. The 9 of Maverick Moose, I know he was a lap down before the last stint. The 55 of Optic Goblin running in that top 5 as well. There's Ace Petty, 43, currently running 4th. Blitz in the 70 car up ahead, and Slide Job, who is projected to take this lead in that 88 car, now rounding turn 1 and getting around the 21 down pit road.
I know that Blitz is in second, but who is in front of Blitz at the very moment? It would be the 55 of Optic Goblin. He is sitting right there. Mr. Where Did He Come From indeed. I mean, we haven't talked about the 55 that much in this stint, but if we get to this point, we're to the point now where it's the end of no return. We referenced Kenny Rogers last night. If you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, right now all the chips are on the table. The only people counting them right now is Slide Job and Ace Petty. They have been right there. They have been the fuel mileage kings so far in this race. Can they pull it off again for an upset win and beat the 21?
Coming to 20 laps to go now, this time by the 88 of Slide Job. I believe he's currently running in the second position. It could be the 70 of Blitz who's leading this race. It could also be the 21 that's just ahead. I'm just so unaware at this moment. We're going to find out here in just a second, but there's the 21 now to the inside of Maverick Moose coming out of turn number 4.
Man, the lead just keeps shaking up right here. I'm trying to flip through and find out. As the 21 goes to get his lap back, he's got his partner, his buddy, the 16 of Night Snipers right there behind him as he gets his lap back. He's projected right now that if everybody pits, or at least one of them pits, he goes back to P number 3. It's not going to change for him. Third looks like where it's going to be at, unless he does what the setup man said. Take 4 tires, come out short, pit it, and go take this win. Beat them on raw speed. Hit early enough to do it and see what we can do.
Sela Joy 7 says, man, this is awesome. Rock NASCAR 388 says, keep on digging, drivers, and dig they shall. Rocky, the 16 of Night Sniper, diligently following that 21 all night long. Now in the final 18 laps of racing. We're going to find out the race leader here for you shortly. Bus driver still stopped on the inside. T2 Infiltrator with the Davey Allison colors, driving a consistent race tonight, but where will he end up? Blitz to the inside of Optic Goblin, this for position between the two. The Miller cars, the Camry and the Mustang, side by side, fighting for that position. There's the 88 of Mr. Slide Job, who is one position better than his teammate, Ace Petty. The white car coming out of 2, sitting in the 4th position. Slide Job running 3rd inside the final 16 laps of this race, Terry.
Yeah, right now the 70 of Blitz is the current leader on the racetrack as we go. This could be huge. We have not seen Blitz play the strategy that the 88 and 43 have played so far. So with Blitz leading this race, 55 of Optic Goblin in P number 2, what can they do? Optic was there last night when it counted. He was there when the big crash happened that took Baritone Boss out of the win and out of contention. Can he do it again tonight and play spoiler at Charlotte?
Looked like the 28 or the 53 just went around coming into pit road, hitting the barrier. Slide Job right now chasing down the 70 of Blitz. There he is to the inside of Maverick Moose. Contact with the 9 of Maverick Moose. The 70 of Blitz almost losing it. Here comes Optic Goblin in the final 14 and a half laps, giving a big push to Blitz, who now gets to the inside of Maverick Moose and says, don't do that to me. Comes back to the inside of turn number 4, clears the 9 as the 55 of Goblin skids down into pit road. More contact between the 9 and the 70, getting loose, scything down that front straight in the final 14 laps.
Final 14 laps are underway here, and this strategy continues. Ace Petty sitting with 13 laps to go in the fuel tank. His saving mode has continued. He's sitting P3 behind Slide Job and Blitz, but can Blitz be the ultimate underdog? Can he come out of nowhere? He's saving as much as he can as he's loose. He's in the grass.
The tires starting to go on the 70 car. Lucky number 13 laps remaining in this 600 miler. Maverick Moose now to his outside. The 70 car still staying ahead in that Miller Camry. 9 car going to his inside. 70 blocking to the outside. A dozen laps to go next time by, Terry.
Blitz is fighting for everything he has. He's fighting a lap down vehicle to try to stay in front. As the 9 of Maverick, he gets loose. He goes to the grass, saves it there. 12 laps to go, a baker's dozen on the board for Blitz. Can he pull off the miracle, throw the Hail Mary down there to Jawan Jennings like Tennessee did against Georgia?
Blitz leading, Sly Job in second, Ace Petty third. I believe Maverick Moose running in that 5th position. Blitz leading now, 11 laps to go. This time by, does he have the fuel? Does he have the tires to go the distance and upset the favorite Sly Job? Blitz losing it into one, side by side, no longer. Blitz really struggling to hold on to that hot rod.
I tell you what he looks like he's doing right now. He's doing something he hasn't done all race long. He's throwing it in neutral. Man, I'm so crazy on what he's doing right here because he has not done it all race long. As now he's coming out pit road. He is fighting hard with the 9. He wrecked him. He turned the 9.
The 9 getting down pit road, almost not giving any respite. Now the 9 spinning, coming into pit road. Sly Job now takes the lead, coming to the final 10 laps of this race, and he's only 2 seconds ahead of Ace Petty. 9 next time around.
Ace is 1 lap short on fuel. If his screen is correct, following along on the Chicken Foot Racing Twitch, he's 9 down, but he continuously does what he does in the corner. He clutches it. He's doing what he has to do. How much fuel is in this machine for the 88? That Camaro could be sputtering before we cross the line.
9 laps remain. Ace Petty behind him to the tune of 2 seconds still. 8 next time by for car 88. There's his teammate and his rival, Ace Petty, in the 43 just behind him. Riding along with that 43, you can see the 88 just ahead, coming up to lap traffic. 88, 43, your top 2. 8 to go this time by, Terry.
88 is doing everything in his power. Did the 43 save enough fuel right here? The CluckClash is in front of him. This is his chance. And if my memory is correct, man, I think the 21 can see Ace Petty in front of him. This could be a great battle as the 16 continuously pushes the 21.
There's third place, Zachary 7007. He sits right behind Ace Petty in the second position. Race leader, Mr. Sly Job, dominating this race so far. There's the 70 of Blitz now to the inside. Did he not take enough tires? He's about to go another lap down. Sly Job contacting the wall, 6 to go next time by. And if it ends now, when will the points come through? I believe the math says Zach will still be the champion. Sly Job says, I'm sorry, not Sly Job. C. LaJoy says, I'm exhausted after the race today, but on my toes for this race. Falls congratulating him. Terry, the 88, it's his race to lose.
It's his race to lose, and we've seen him do it time and time again from stage 2 forward until now. Can he do it? Slight contact with a lap down machine in the center of the corner, but he was able to save it. They stayed side by side. Blitz goes a lap down right there, but conservation mode was key.
2.5 seconds, the gap between them. 88 coming to 5 laps to go. Ace Petty behind him. You can see the white speck out of turn number 4, and there's the third place driver, Zachary, in the number 21 Ford. Unofficially, if the race ends now, he wins the CluckClash Triple Crown with a win, a second place. I believe it was second place. I don't remember. Terry, where did he finish at Indianapolis yesterday? It wasn't second.
He number 2.
Did he finish second?
Yes, sir. He number 2 for him.
He finished second at Indy, and a third place today could just be enough for that crown. But after 600 miles in these final 4 laps, it's a 3-second gap between Sly Job and Ace Petty on fuel strategy, Terry.
Fuel strategy played the key. It played the dividend, my friend. This could be the chance Sly Job has looked for. He's right there. He can see the win. I said it before. At the beginning of this race, Sly Job's home is right here in NASCAR Heat. He has been on Twitter. He has been on Facebook talking about all the wins that he had, but I don't think none would be as big as this. You win in the finale. 600 miles at Charlotte. It's just so grueling.
88 ahead of the 70. Blitz going a lap down, still struggling to control that race car. 3 miles to go. This time around, the 21 of Zach following Optic Goblin, who's a lap down in 5th. Zach just needs to preserve the race car to the end, and he could end up as that CluckClash Triple Crown winner. We'll assess the points unofficially at the end of the race. Contact with the 55 with 2 laps to go. Night Sniper in the 16 behind Zach in the 21. Here's Slide Job. White flag next time by.
White flag as they come around the track. This is it. This is all they've been wanting to do. Everything they have wanted is here. Slide Job made contact with the wall, but he takes it. This is his opportunity. He has out-strategized the 21. The fastest guy here has been dethroned as their white flag is out. Rick back in the back straightaway for the final time.
Just 3/4 of a mile remain. Rock NASCAR saying, wow, what a fantastic race tonight. I couldn't put it any better. Out of the 4th corner, winning stage 2, 3, and 4, Mr. Slide Job 1996 gets the Charlotte win in night 3 of the Chicken Foot CluckClash.
It's an incredible race, an incredible series that was put on, a great event. What an incredible event. Monaco, Indy, and now Charlotte ending it all. What a great way for Mr. Slide Job to go out on his home turf, winning at the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Ace Petty in 2nd, Zach getting the 3rd place finish. Blitz finishing 4th, Optic Goblin 5th, Jump in the Fire 6th, Maverick 7th, Night Sniper 8th, T2 Infiltrator 9th, and Bus Driver finishing 10th. And my brother Mitchie, everyone's favorite Strian, saying great weekend of racing by all. Well done to Slide Job on the win. Well done to Mitch as well. Coming through, Mitch was there for our Monaco race Friday night. Katarina saying good race. Maverick, Sela Joy congratulating Slide Job. Bama Trema with trophies in the chat. Fans at home, we're going to take a short little break here. We'll stay ad free and we'll assess just the whole weekend, and then we have courtesy of Chickenfoot, a special little fireworks show that Chickenfoot would like to present after the race. So we will be back in just a few moments. Mr. Slide Job 1996, your winner at Charlotte. Sela Joy 7 saying, Pocono is a tough track, really tires you out. Found this scrolling through Twitch and thought I'd drop by and watch. Great race, boys. Great race for you, Corey. Thank you for coming through. We are almost done tonight. The setup man says, great job calling all the races this weekend. Night Sniper Mom saying great racing, and thank you for the commentating. Thank you, everybody. Night Sniper, Setup Man, Sela Joy 7. Thank you, buddy. Stick around. Please do stick around. Many, many more races to come this weekend. Mitchie950 says, been here for the last 100 laps. I could go on for hours if we kept talking about this. But Terry, what a weekend. What a race with Monaco. Mitch graced this booth with his call there. Zach, dominant. Indianapolis last night, just down to the absolute wire racing. And here at Charlotte, my gosh, just and for us, the longest broadcast we've ever done. But what a weekend! What an unbelievable weekend of racing.
We're calling a race for the Wolf Pump Truck Series on iRacing. Chickenfoot jumps in my lobby, gets to talking about the Clash, and I said, "Oh my gosh, let me break the chicken head out." I bring it out and said, "CluckClash, baby, let me be a part of it." And being a part of it, I did. Calling 1,100 miles alongside the greatest that has ever graced NASCAR heat, iRacing, whatever. Rick James, you are phenomenal. I love it. When I heard you were a part of it, I said, put me in there. I'll call Indy, and I have no idea what an Indy car does. And I love it. I love you. I just love the CluckClash.
I love you, buddy. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Thank you to everyone at Chickenfoot. The folks at Chickenfoot want to present a little send-off here, a little bit of a fireworks show on their YouTube channel. That's where you can check it out. That link right there. Mitchie, you are the legend. Believe me, you will be with me on the next Formula One broadcast that we do. Normally, tomorrow night, we're doing Monday Night Lightning. I will be out for that. Tuesday night, we will return with the OG Racing Modifieds. Wednesday night, the OMA All-Star Race. Thursday night, TNT. And then we'll see what happens the rest of the week. But fans, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for being a part of this show. VolsFan88 is where you can reach my brother Terry on Twitch, twitch.tv/VolsFan88. Of course, you're right here on Rick James TV. Give us a follow. Give us a subscription. Fans at home, thank you so very, very much. Chickenfoot Racing, thank you for having us. Terry Radford, thank you for being here for the last 1,100 miles of this almost 1,300-mile weekend. It's been just thrilling. And I cannot wait to do this. I cannot wait to be back. Tuesday, we're doing the Modifieds on iRacing. More NASCAR throughout the week. Fans at home, stay safe. Take care of each other. We will see you around the corner. And as always,